Fox College Football is sponsored by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram. BYU has traveled very well to a loud Nippert Stadium, and such opportunity for the Cougars tonight. Alexa Landestoy.
You guys touched on it. BYU almost in this identical position a year ago. One loss, headed on the road with everything in front of them. Coach Satake said nothing is better than experience, and this group is leading into that. He's been impressed by the maturity of his upperclassmen leading the way. Offensive coordinator Aaron Roderick echoing the same, saying he's seen those lessons from last year being applied each and every week. And when they left Lubbock, suffering their first loss of the season, they looked at each other and said, we got a 3-game season ahead. Take care of business against TCU, which they did. The next stop is taking care of business here on the road in Cincinnati. JB, they have earned the right to control their destiny, but they know there's little to no room for error.
That's exactly right. Championship game on the line. A win and a Colorado win against Arizona State simultaneously right now. That's what's available for BYU in this extravagantly loud stadium. Away we go. BYU, Cincinnati, night side. And a fair catch will lead to our first look at Bear Bachmeier, the freshman who has said he doesn't feel like a freshman. 2 weeks ago against Texas Tech, his offensive coordinator Aaron Roderick said Bear knew he didn't play well. He knew he had to bounce back, and he practiced like it all week. He's redirected to the positive again, Robert.
Yeah, sometimes you have to get punched in the mouth to understand how you're going to respond. The great Mike Tyson said everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth, right? Well, Bear responded in the right way, not just in practice, but what the execution looked like in the game against TCU. You're going to see a lot of switch releases from the wide receivers and bunt sets, and they love to roll the pocket with this young man.
LJ Martin getting healthier. Their lead tailback has 4 yards on first down. The offensive line is different, though, Robert. Waylon Lapuaho will not play at left guard.
Yes, and they're going up against a really good 3-down front with Dante Corleone at number 2. So you're looking at Sonny Mocassini is going to have to step up big tonight, and also the center, Bruce Mitchell, having to face Dante Corleone every single snap is going to be a sight to see. And then at wide receiver, Parker Kingston, he has really developed into the #1 wide receiver. They use him all over the formation. They're going to throw it to him, hand it to him. He might even throw a pass tonight.
He has a handful of times already this year. Bachmeier loads at time. He will scramble and dive and pick up a yard. It's a 3rd down for Cincinnati. They have struggled to get off the field on 3rd down this year, but Corleone in the middle is a force.
Yeah, Corleone, they call him the Godfather. I mean, could there be any more fitting of a name? And everyone knows that he is one of the best nose tackles in all of college football. You see him there pumping up the crowd. At linebacker, they got Jack Dingle right there, who was just a QB spy on Bear Bachmeier. And then we got the 2 outside guys, Matthew McDoom and Logan Wilson. They're every bit of 5'9" each. They're out there putting on for the Short Kings. They got some 6'4" and 6'5" receivers they got to stop today.
And a penalty against BYU. Looked like Kingston moved. The guards moved as well. And our first flag tonight.
False start. Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Yeah, they're calling it on the left guard. Sourchoke, and you see the Godfather telling him, go home, back it up. I don't know what signal that was. You're going to have to tell me what that was, Jason.
I think it was traveling. You see Svarchuk playing left guard on this series. Mocassini will be in as well. It's a screen from Bachmeier. It's LJ Martin in the open field across midfield. It's a 1st down, BYU. Give him 26 on a screen.
Oh, yeah. You're going to watch Simeon Coleman here. The LJ Martin's going to go outside and come back in like he's running to the flat, makes him overcommit so the guard can block him, and then he's back through running through arm tackles. Just amazing job there, and you see Bear's eyes getting the ball to him in a position where he can get vertical immediately. Accuracy on screens is so important for a quarterback and an offense to be effective at them. Right there, you saw it all in one package.
1 out of every 5 pass plays they run is a screen. This is a freeze option. He'll come back the other way, load up that right arm, and go downfield. It is incomplete for Chase Roberts. Cincinnati, a highly penalized defensive team, is clean that time. But the last 3 games, this has become a pass-heavier offense.
Yeah, that they learned against Iowa State when L.J. Martin went down that, hey, you know what? Can we win the game throwing the football with Bear Bachmeier on and put the game on his shoulders? They did that. This team feels like they can win any style of football game, and the young man, Bear Bachmeier, is coming into his own so much that the coaches are trusting him to throw it a lot more.
Martin just came off the field. Enoch Navahine will be part of the blocking group for Bachmeier, who picks up 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6. And just worth laying out right away, Cincinnati has seen the most 4th down attempts against them of anybody in the country. And Aaron Roderick will likely sequence, the offensive coordinator for BYU, to go for it on 4th down tonight.
Yeah, we talked to him and he said, you know, we want to be in 3rd and manageable. So here you are in 3rd and 5, which means the entire playbook is open. They could run the football here if they like the matchup that they have. Right now, looks like they got a little bit of man coverage on the outside if they decide to throw it.
Here's Kingston, and he is tripped up and dropped. Kingston hit by Jaquan Sanks. What a play.
Yeah, you're going to watch Jaquan Sanks. He's right here in the middle. And as Kingston comes across, him and this other safety are going to communicate. You go get him, and it's man coverage. He's got that guy one-on-one. If he doesn't make that tackle, Parker Kingston might still be running. Amazing job right there, communication on the back end, and they got him down. And now, 4th and long, BYU is going to punt.
I wonder if this might be fake territory. It could be early to do it, right? But BYU does have a full bag of tricks. That's a huge tackle by Sanks, though. Huge to keep them out of 4th and go for it land. Vanderhaar will kick it away for BYU, and it is a very good kick inside the 10. Manny Covey with the fair catch. Brendan Sorsby, who threw a pick on his first throw last week, already told us he wants to bounce back from that. That's next. Senior night here in Cincinnati, and Gavin Gerhardt among the seniors. His 51st game here. He's been through a coaching change, college football playoff. He and Dante Corleone, local products that have stayed through all of it. They've seen even in a 4-team playoff 4 years ago. Remember Cincinnati, the upstart team, not yet in the Big 12, made the college football playoff. And they still have an outside shot at the Big 12 this year. Yeah,
and you talk about those guys. It's not dead in college football where you can have these guys that stay at universities for a long period of time and have that identity.
Tawi Walker is sent under by Bodie Schoonover. It is 2nd down, and Brendan Sorsby, they run on the first play. What do you like from him on tape that creates all these touchdowns?
Yeah, guys, you're going to see a guy that throws the football, and when you watch him, it's very Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love-esque. They got all the arm angles. He can throw from every platform, and he has one of the quickest releases you'll ever see.
They'll run the jet sweep. Cyrus Allen, the speedster out of New Orleans, gets stacked up by Johnson for this BYU defense. Gerhardt in the middle of this offensive line. They've allowed only 3 sacks all year.
Yeah, and he's the centerpiece of it. And you talk about them having 4 rushers that average 5.9 yards or more a carry. He is the leader of that. And Evan Pryor, getting him back, this guy had 4 55-yard touchdowns last year. He is a big play waiting to happen. They love that he's back out there with him.
They need a first down here badly. They have not held the ball very long all year. They're last in time of possession in the FBS. This would be a quick 3-and-out, 3rd and 10 to the sideline, incomplete. It is 4th down. Goody the target. Tausili Akana had the pressure on Sorsby.
Yeah, they love running these types of concepts where you have basically a comeback singled out route on the backside, and Sorsby's going to move with the pocket and then make this throw, and this has to be caught. If you're Caleb Goody, I know it's early in the game, it's a little chilly down there, but you got to make those types of plays.
That's going to be a drive of just over a minute. BYU had it for about 4 minutes. And so now you reload that on a short field from midfield on a fair catch from Kingston.
It's the blessing and the curse. The blessing and the curse of being a fast up-tempo offense. You put your defense out there too long, but now they get another shot at Bear Bachmeier. Let's see what he does when we get back.
Time for America's fastest growing late night sensation, Three's Keys.
Here we go. BYU, it's claws out. They're at their best when they're balanced on offense, and they have to win on first down to stay ahead of the chains. For Cincinnati, it's a bear trap. This defense has not been very good. But today they have to create negative plays and get BYU behind the chains. Blitz from everywhere. Change up the fronts. Go 7-up if you have to. But do whatever you have to do to make those negative plays. And for both of these teams, it's about seizing the moment. Don't lose the game for yourself. The least penalized team will win. The team that has the least amount of turnovers will win this game. Make your opponent have to beat you because they out-executed you.
You ran out of animal riffs for the third one? What happened? You mentioned the blitzing thing. Scott Satterfield told us all this week that being more aggressive might be the idea defensively. Try to hop back in this Big 12 race. They have the lowest blitz rate in the country. Sometimes they get pressure with 3. It's a run to neutralize any of that. L.J. Martin with a stiff arm for yards against Logan Wilson, who got a face full of palm.
Oh, man. Just a beautiful run there. And I know everyone wants to watch this guy right here, L.J. Martin, but watch the safety. Oh, moved it for me. Watch Chase Roberts come in and push crack the safety, which makes L.J. Martin have a one-on-one block with a 5'9" corner. Corners don't want to tackle. They dang sure don't want to tackle that guy. Amazing scheme there to get him the football.
That was a joust down the field. Now Martin right into Dingle, the linebacker out of Louisville. It's a gain of 1 after the Martin 13-yard run prior. That shoulder bothered him for a couple weeks. Still not 100%, but man, is he a tough tackle late in games.
Yeah, this guy is an absolute load. You're talking about 6'2", 220. I just saw him on the field. There's no way that guy's 220. He's at least 235. And when you talk about having to consistently tackle a guy that big, at the end of games, defenses start to wear down because he's pounding them so much.
Short set for Bachmeier, who scans for a while and throws for the tight end Carson Ryan, who is a willing blocker but loves the open field, and shoulder out. He'll get about 5. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Yeah, I love that play there from Bear Bachmeier because you want to be aggressive and push the ball down the field, but sometimes taking the check down is the right play. Puts you in a great 3rd and 4 situation. Again, could be 2-down territory. They just have to eliminate the negative plays here. Watch Parker Kingston, who's in motion right now. That is the guy they try to get the football to here on 3rd downs.
Now Bachmeier is going to change the play with 10 to snap it. Chewing on a 3rd and 4, Bear Bachmeier. He'll throw topside. Chase Roberts has the first down for BYU. He's got some reliable targets on the outside.
Yes, he does, and that's a speed out to the field. Boom, boom. Okay, Chase Roberts, we see you. These guys are running NFL concepts. Put that foot in the ground, come out of it, ball is there. Make the play on the sideline, even if he hits you in the face. Nice job there between the quarterback and the wide receiver. I know NFL scouts are drooling over what they just saw.
Chase Roberts has always played big. He was 6'2", 6'3" in middle school. The body control to deal with it. Kingston this side, and he's dropped at the 14 immediately by Christian Harrison. But this is the lay of the land for Cincinnati. It's bend but don't break, but sometimes there's been a break.
Yeah, and really it's been missed tackles that has really hurt them all season long. Right there, a very sure tackle from Christian Harrison. But for Bear Bachmeier, when you're a quarterback early in games, my coach would always tell me you can't go broke taking a profit. Take the throw that is there. He's doing that so far early in this game.
It leads to a full playbook on 2nd and 3. They'll go handoff. L.J. Martin is stacked up and driven back. Corleone and company. Golday as well, the transfer from Central Arkansas.
Yeah, and you're going to see Jake Golday come in from right over here, and he's going to fire in there. As soon as he sees the tight end go to block, he said, okay, buddy, I got you. And he gets in there and stops L.J. Martin before he can get his momentum rolling, and then the rest of the Bearcats show up to shut down that run. That's how you get those negative runs and negative plays on defense. Stop it before it ever starts.
Just 5 tackles for loss per game for Cincinnati. That's a big one. It's 3rd down, and it's L.J. Martin squeezing through, driving the pile. And it's a first down. A rugged, toothy run of 7 after getting hit after 1 yard or so.
Yeah, and watch when he gets hit. Look what his offensive linemen do. He keeps his feet moving, and then you got big number Kyle Sarchoke and number 71 Isaiah Jada out there pushing him vertical. The big fellas love to push the pile, and right there they pushed him all the way to a first down.
You ever watch the World's Strongest Man competition where they like drag a car?
Yep.
That's what that looked like, the form.
Exactly. They got some strong men down there. Might be 24 too.
It's Bachmeier running behind Navahine, and it's only a gain of 1. Cincinnati's run defense has played generally well so far in big early spots. So it's 2nd and goal as Dingle got in there that time.
What Cincinnati's struggled with this season is more of the slashier, speedier runners, because they get everybody at the line of scrimmage, and as soon as you break that line, there's no back line of defense. Of course, here in the red zone, that's not as big of a worry, but they're trying to load up hits on Bear Bachmeier.
For Tyson Veit, the defensive coordinator, we'll see how in between he is today, because they talked about being more aggressive. They got gashed on a couple plays in base in the run game last week against Arizona. Martin back in. Bachmeier wants to throw. He'll loft it for the end zone, incomplete for the now healthy JoJo Phillips. And it's 3rd and goal.
Yeah, in that situation, Bears just got to leave the ball in bounds. Give your 6'5" wide receiver an opportunity to go up and make a play on a corner that is clearly significantly smaller than him. There's no need to throw that one out of bounds.
Yeah, Arnold at 5'8". You mentioned Wilson and McDoom at 5'9". This is a 10-play drive, though. BYU has held the ball for more than 9 minutes of this first quarter. Nothing to show for it yet.
Yeah, and this is where the defense can start to wear down a little bit, having to be on the field for such a long time. Watch Parker Kingston here as he goes in motion.
Straight ahead, Bachmeier, touchdown!
Well, we called it. I told you to watch Parker Kingston, and I want you to watch 1, 2, 3, 4. Watch how all these guys just start flowing this way as the fake happens, and then that opens up a massive gap right there for Bear Bachmeier to insert himself just like a grizzly bear into the end zone.
Yeah, that was a bear trap that still has food in it. Untouched, basically, into the end zone for Bear Bachmeier, who now has outrushed touchdown Steve Young, Zach Wilson, Taysom Hill.
Holy cow.
He's got more in one season on the ground for a quarterback than any of those guys.
Impressive.
Until the summer. And now he's the all-time single-season quarterback rushing touchdown leader. It's easier to remember than the way I just said it in BYU history.
That's unbelievable, because, you know, that name at the bottom there, Steve Young, was a dynamic dual-threat quarterback, Hall of Famer, and Bear Bachmeier's passed him off.
Amazing. Truly amazing. And at Cincinnati, they go 3 and out on their first touch of the ball after getting a stop. But this is the way it's gone. I mean, you talk about patterns of behavior. Both of these teams have fallen into that in this first quarter.
And this hasn't been something that's been a problem in their wins, because when they win, they're scoring fast. But if you consistently put your defense out there for this time of possession type of differentials, it's going to tire them out. And if you don't have the points to show for it, then you get yourself out of games quickly. That's what happened to them against Utah. And for them tonight, you hear this crowd, if they don't get something going here on this drive, it kind of takes all the energy out of the stadium.
That might be why Evan Pryor is in now. The big play threat at running back. It is a throw for Sorsby on a pump. He sees the pressure right in his face, and he swings it out wide for Pryor. BYU wants to bring that pressure straight ahead at Sorsby, as they did right there.
Exactly. They talked about bringing pressure up the middle to get him off his spot, because they don't think he's as effective there. So what do? You get Keanu Tanuvasa and John Toimoy Payao to get that pressure up the middle.
tempo here, and they'll run it, looking for that first down, and they'll have to do it on 3rd and 1. Talmoy Peau with the stop of Pryor.
Yeah, and the other guys that we were mentioning there, number 16, Isaiah Glasgow, one of the best cover linebackers in all the country. He's going to have a great matchup with Joe Royer, the tight end for Cincinnati. But now the Bearcats are moving with a little bit of tempo up front.
It's a run. It's Pryor, and he is stonewalled short. Bodie Schoonover was first. It is 4th down for Cincinnati. This is a huge call for Scott Satterfield.
Yeah, you got to go for it.
But how? What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, this would be a situation where once Cincinnati great by the name of Jason Kelsey would just go for a tush push.
Right.
But
I knew you were going there.
I think you have to go for it, and it's as easy as a quarterback sneak.
Short of the line of game. The previous play is under replay review.
Sorsby says 1st down. We'll see what our replay officials say. It was very close.
It was.
The call on the field is short. They would need clear and convincing evidence to overturn. Bodie Schoonover got in there. Where's the ball? We'll find out when we return. Ruled just short. The ruling upheld. It is 4th down and 1 for Cincinnati. The good news is, we told you the Bearcats give up a lot of 4th downs, attempts and conversions. They're the best 4th down team in the country at 13 for 15, 87% this year.
That's another reason that I believe even in their own territory here, they should go for it on 4th down. And don't overthink this. Don't get in the shotgun and try to hand the ball off to the running back. Go under center, quarterback sneak this, get a fresh new set of downs.
Easy as that.
Easy as that. And they don't.
3 tight ends, direct snap. Tawi Walker does have the 1st down for Cincinnati. You're dying inside.
I am. It's like I hate, like it's a centimeter. Don't get in the gun and risk the fumbled snap or whatever it may be. But they got the 1st down. Now their defense just took a deep breath on the sideline and said, "Oh, thank you, Jesus, we don't got to go back out there right now."
But what if it's what they're used to? The shotgun.
It is. I mean, even if it's what you're used to, you have to be able to implement and have under center capabilities in your offense.
The pistol, they run a lot, and there goes Pryor. Into the clear. Pryor down the sideline, hugged out by Tanner Wall, but that's why they love him, and he's just going to join BYU for a moment.
You're going to watch. They're going to double team here, and then the left guard, Tonga Stahl, is going to create the 2nd level block of the linebacker Acera to allow Evan Pryor to make that perfect cutback. And this is the big playability that they have missed from Evan Pryor. He's going to go to the sideline and say, you know what? That's such a good run. I'm going to go ahead and give me a little break right here. Hanging out with L.J. Martin. Yeah, 2 great running backs.
Running back room. Impromptu running back room. Sorsby wants to launch. He'll go down the middle. Wide open Isaiah Johnson inside the 15. That's the big playability of Cincinnati and why they've been as good as they have this year.
Oh, and this is what we call an arches route. You're going to see a switch release here underneath, and then Johnson is going to come out like he's running a seam. Boom, gets the leverage, and then snap it off underneath. Great eyes there by Brendan Sorsby, scanning the entire field and hitting him with the ball that he could catch and run with. Big runs create big passes. They are really syncing together right now, this offense.
They were 6 plays for 9 yards. The last 2 have gone for 51 combined. Johnson again is ripped down by Falatau Satuwala. It's 2nd down. Back to the eyes of Sorsby.
Yeah, you're going to watch his eyes. Boom, he catches the ball. There's the fake. He's scanning to the left, and it's not there. Brings his eyes back to the right. This is his 3rd read on this play, and you just saw the flick of the wrist right there. That's what I'm telling you, man. Quick release. It's beautiful. This is what you love to see from a quarterback.
See, top 10 in yards per completion. Sorsby loads of time, and he'll drop it off. He's got Caldwell, who breaks 1 tackle and then gets turned around into another tackle. And Tanner Wall finally, as Bamba had him by the waist. 3rd down, BYU trying to hold the line.
Yeah, now it kind of feels like Sorsby's feeling a little bit better, got a couple throws under his belt. This offense is gaining a little bit of confidence, and like we talked about, you got to keep the crowd in the game, and this is how you do it, going on a nice long drive, keep your defense on the sideline, and put together some big-time plays.
Yeah, he had a couple of turf burns on his arm in our meeting. We asked him where are they from, and he said, I actually don't know. I normally know, but I had a sleeve on, so I was mad that they happened. But he took quite the pounding last week against Arizona. Sorsby wants to run. He gets hit, shakes one tackle, and now we've got another fourth down decision. Likely. It's very close. Akana made the stop. It is very close to the line to gain. They are going to say first down for Cincinnati. It looked like he was a little short. We'll see if replay stops it during the break. But for now, the Bearcats are cooking.
That is the end of the first.
Early wheelie. Late big plays. First half on the way to the second quarter.
At the end of this game, you wanted your group to play physical, clean, and dominate. How would you assess their start here tonight?
Yeah, we're doing that. I just think that we got to stop the big plays, and then, we just got to make our plays. We're having some MAs here, but we'll clean it up. And the noise is getting to us on offense. Defensively, we just got to keep playing.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
MA's meaning missed assignments. The good news for BYU is that's the ball placement here. After review, Cincinnati was short. It's going to be fourth down and a full yard.
Yeah, now I'm okay if they go into the shotgun in this situation, because you might need to have your full gambit of plays. I would not be surprised if they did some type of misdirection.
Walker, direct snap. He's hit and he's down. Keanu Tanavasa broke down the door and got the stop. We'll check the spot, but it looked like he was short.
Yep.
Wow. BYU puts up a barricade.
And I want you to watch how impressive a play this was by Tanuvasa. He's right here. The misdirection comes from the quarterback. The two fullbacks going this way with a direct snap to the running back. Tanuvasa is going to get pushed out, hit a spin move, come back, and then use his scorpion, get over here to pull the back right back to him. Tawi Walker could not get out of the grasp of Tanuvasa. That's what you call determination on his part.
Remember what Kalani Sitake told us about Tanuvasa about a month ago? He said when he does it our way, doesn't freelance, doesn't try to swim gaps, he is a force. He's got to be proud of that play.
Oh, 100%.
BYU football on a first down run. L.J. Martin getting 4.5 into Harrison. And just note where this drive starts for BYU, right? If Cincinnati gives up something like a 97-yard drive, that would be a total gut punch for this defense.
It'd be a backbreaker because they came into this game telling themselves we have to match BYU's physicality. They just tried to out-physical them there right at the goal line. It didn't happen. So now if your defense gives up a touchdown drive here, holy moly, it's not going to feel good on that sideline.
Especially when you've given up long drives all season long. This wouldn't be your typical lengthy drive. And we'll see what the call is here for Tyson Veit, the defensive coordinator, as Thompson makes the stop on Martin. Because, again, they're trying to break tendencies of that bend but don't break with some creases.
And what you're seeing right now is a lot of soft coverages to defend the passing game, and then they're rallying downhill to stop the run. What that does is it makes the offense have very favorable third downs. This is 3rd and 2, and again, soft coverage, but they're going to attack downhill quickly.
Bachmeier keeps it, and he's dropped. Drilled by Jack Dingle, the senior, for Cincinnati. What a read by him.
Yeah, and you're going to watch Jack Dingle. He is right here. He's going to have his eyes on the quarterback this entire time. Gets to the outside, closes it down, and then rallies to go get the QB. And this is where I constantly say, for dual threat QBs, you got to know your strengths. Bear Bachmeier is not an east-west runner. He is a north-south guy. They made him go east-west, and now they're playing.
It's a great point. He held on to it, and Cincinnati will have A short field into plus territory. The defense gets a big stop, a much needed stop for the Bearcats, trying to break a 2-game losing streak. Fox College football is sponsored by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram. Cincinnati was rapping on the door on their most recent drive. They gave it up inside the BYU 5, and now they've got 47 yards to get to even the score.
And this is what you call complimentary football. You said, you know what, I trust my defense to get a stop even if we don't get it on 4th down, and they got that stop. You got to make them right here.
Quick set, get it away for Noah Jennings. His first grab, the junior spinning and wheeling all the way down to the 27. The transfer from tiny Charleston Southern.
And you're going to see the switch release between him and Joe Royer. He gets to that hole. RPO off the switch release. I mean, they are trying to trick the eyes of this BYU defense, and right there it worked.
Jennings had a 204-yard game as a freshman in the Big South at Charleston Southern. This throw to the sideline is on target for Walker, who's been around college football to Oklahoma and Wisconsin.
Yeah, and you got him out there on a defensive end, outside linebacker type. Really great recognition there from Sorsby to just get a nice, easy pass to stay ahead of the chains. And the drives that they've had that have stalled, they found themselves in 2nd and longs and 3rd and long. 2nd and 6 is right where you want to be.
Because Pryor came on the field, Tanuvasa and Cabella in the secondary, and now BYU will substitute again. Talmoy Payau comes off, and we have a whistle before the snap. BYU called timeout. You know, you have the chance to reasonably substitute to mess with the offense a little bit. Yeah. But sometimes that can create a problem in the anarchy department for your own defense. And that may have just happened. Night game in the nation happened here at the University of Cincinnati. They tried to install lights for a practice in 1909, but they weren't strong enough. And there's a quote in the Inquirer from 1909: "No punting can be done by the present system." Didn't go great at first, so they had an electrician on site for practices. They figured it all out. It took like 14 years. Then they had the first night game here. But they had an official electrician for the Cincinnati football team.
Wow.
Yeah, it's big time.
Look at you always doing the deep research, Jason Benetti.
Have you ever had an electrician on retainer?
Yes, I have, actually.
Oh, my God. Of course you have. So bougie. Here's a throw by Sorsby, and that's out of bounds. 3rd down and 6. That wasn't the light issue. It was not an available route down the sideline. 3rd and 6.
You know, we talked about this with Sorsby's ability to avoid sacks, but also this offensive line's job of protecting him. Sometimes he makes the right play by just getting the ball out of his hands, and it might affect his completion percentage, but it does keep them in favorable down and distances like they are here in 3rd and 6.
Sorsby. Pressure came around the corner. He lets it rip to the sideline, and a jumping grab by Jennings. He bobbled it. It's incomplete. They're going to say incomplete. He did not reel it in. Evan Johnson likes the call. It was close.
Yeah, and you're going to see Jennings here at the end. Boom. He double catches it, triple catches it, and then by the time he gets down to the ground, that ball is all over the ground, and he doesn't have complete control of it until he turns all the way over. That's why you catch it the first time, not the second time, and certainly not the 3rd time.
Tried to get that hand underneath, but could not pull it home. And so Cincinnati will send on Steven Rusnak. This is going to be stopped to review. So Rusnak will have to wait to try to get Cincinnati on the board. Again, the call on the field is incomplete. That's where you start.
And that's a very important point, Jason, because now they have to have enough evidence to say that he had full control as he was going to the ground, and you can see him switch the ball to the other hand as he rolls over. So let's see what Mikey P has to say about what he's seeing from this replay.
Hi, guys. I'll tell you, it's an interesting play because clear you see the bobble, but he is going to get control before he gets to the ground with the body part. So what they're looking at now is, did the ball come loose when he hit the ground? Did it hit the ground before he got total control? It's a close one. If it was me, I kind of like it as a catch because I think he does have control. The only problem is, can they prove that it didn't hit the ground and come loose?
Number one, Mike, great to have you back. Number two, happy St. Patrick's Day. Number three, when you're looking to see if there's enough to overturn, what are you looking at as he comes to the ground, Mike?
Yeah, obviously you're looking, is it got to be clear and obvious, and you're going to get Mike McCabe, who's going to come out and make the announcement. It's got to be clear and obvious to overturn.
An incomplete pass is upheld, 4th down.
So they couldn't really see down when the ball hit the ground whether it came loose or whether it hit the ground. So that's what they had to stay with, because he was clearly inbounds in terms of that part of it.
Mike, thank you, sir. Always wonderful to see the dapper Mike Pereira.
We're green all you want, Mike. Don't let him get on you.
No, I love it. Feels like November. Rusnak to get Cincinnati on the board, and he yanked it. That's a young man who had missed 1 field goal in the last 2 years.
Wow. All they needed was points here, and he yanked it wide left.
The greatest rivalry in sports is here. Top-ranked defending national champion Ohio State heads to the Big House, looking to break the curse. Is it a curse after 4 games? It might be. The game next Saturday, 9 a.m., 3-hour Big Noon kickoff live from Ann Arbor. We'll have to check on Portnoy as of 6 a.m. Michigan, Ohio State at noon, only on Fox. What a scene that's going to be.
Oh, man, it's going to be electric.
Ohio State messed around a little bit for a quarter today, and then not anymore, and so did Michigan. So they're ready to go. BYU gets it back after another missed opportunity. Cincinnati, this is downfield into traffic, and there were 3 Bearcats around Roberts. Whew. Xavier Williams was in the area, and Cincinnati, who just does not create many turnovers, had a crack at one there.
Yeah, I mean, Bachmeier decided before this play even started that he was going to throw this ball deep. And you're going to see him off the play action fake, roll, and he throws this with the middle safety, the backside corner, and the frontside corner, all running the route for Chase Roberts. Never do that as a quarterback. You have to read it out, and you can't predetermine that you're going to take a shot. Right there, Bear showed a little bit of his youth.
Short set here, pressure coming. Bachmeier escapes. There, Bachmeier turns it upfield into Rodney Harrison's son, Christian. It'll be 3rd down. And it's interesting, they have a growl here for the Bearcats, but off a Bachmeier run, it feels like a wash.
He might think that, hey, they're trying to rile me up a little bit here. They got a sound for me, but right there, why he didn't throw that is because he was going to throw a pick 6 if he unleashed what he wanted to throw there. So really smart decision by him there not to compound a bad RPO decision with a bad throw, and got them into a 3rd and manageable.
Cincinnati does not bring pressure immediately, and they get it away to Kingston for a 1st down. BYU, they gave Bachmeier a chance to flow to his right, double figures in yards.
Oh, and this is just an amazing job here. Bears going to roll. They love these flood concepts. It's a go ball on the outside with a flat route and a corner. And watch how Parker Kingston doesn't run to get covered. That's an actual corner route that he turns into a stop. But him and Bear Bachmeier on the same page here, and they get the completion for the 1st down.
Cincinnati plays under 10% man coverage. There are opportunities to sit down in this Cincinnati defense. It is a 1st down, and it's L.J. Martin, who hasn't seen the ball much recently, and Jake Golday, the transfer from Scottie Pippen's University, Central Arkansas, gets the stop. He said Scottie showed up at least once while he was there before he transferred to Cincinnati.
Maybe that's why he transferred.
No.
Just kidding.
He transferred to cultivate that mustache.
That's a really good stash.
Second down and 6. I grew up a Bulls fan, man. You don't need to do that to me. Here's a throw. Kingston on the screen, turning his back, and he is dropped by McDoom. It is a first down for Kingston. It's a gain of 10.
Yeah, and you're just going to see Parker Kingston is right here in the middle of the bunch. He is their screen guy, so they're going to motion Hagan outside to go block, get it to Kingston, get him downhill immediately. That is one thing that I've noticed with Kingston on tape. He does he did a little 6-7.
10, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
a little under.
It's a little. You can't do the 6-7 sign when you get 10 yards, right?
It doesn't have a meaning. You can do it whenever.
That is true. Here's
a run for Martin, trying to just squeeze on through, and he got nipped in the car wash by Williams. It's a gain of 4. Second down coming up. This is the BYU offense that has worn people down, and we have seen it in front of our eyes late in the game. LJ Martin gets tougher and tougher to tackle, and this offensive line gets tougher and tougher to stop from surging.
Yeah, they do, and now you've got Dante Corleone out of the game because they've gotten so many snaps. Let's see if BYU tries to take advantage of it.
Bachmeier wanted to cut it loose. Now he does under duress, and Dingle was there on the pressure. Now, was he out of the pocket? He did get it back to the line of scrimmage. If he's out of the pocket, that is a legal incompletion. If he still is in the pocket, it is not. See the tackle box. The right tackle is 95. The extra tight end, Osler, yeah, he's way out of the pocket.
He's out of pocket.
The quarterback is outside the pocket. You threw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, those are the two factors. If you're out of the pocket and you get the ball beyond the line of scrimmage, it's legal. If you're in the pocket, there has to be a receiver in the area. Two separate versions of it.
100%. Here they are, 3rd and 6, 2-down territory once again.
There you see Bachmeier running vertically and powering his way down. There's a marker in as well. Bachmeier got jostled by Arnold.
Yeah, they're going to call holding on Bruce Mitchell, the center, it looks like.
Bachmeier wincing a little bit after that hit.
Holding. Offense number 63. 10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Interesting. 3 down front, 4 down front for Mitchell. A little different.
Yeah, and you're going to see Mitchell right here in the middle of your screen. We got Bear Bachmeier running, and you got Bruce Mitchell giving Xavier Williams a bear hug. And as you see him hold him on the outside, he throws that arm out. As soon as the refs see that and that there's no disengagement from the guy that's blocking him, they are always going to call that as holding. And that pushes them back now to 3rd and long when it looked like they were going to have a pretty easy conversion.
BYU has to get to the Cincinnati 37 and a whistle before the snap. No signal yet. I think we might have a spot issue based on where the holding foul was walked off. Yeah, that it seemed like 3rd and 8 was a bit ambitious for the BYU fans. At 3rd and 10.
And when we talked to offensive coordinator Aaron Roderick, he said we're not going to lose the game on 3rd and long. So they might run this, maybe a quarterback draw, but Parker Kingston is their guy at the top of your screen.
Bear Bachmeier waiting, snapping it over the middle. That is incomplete. There was a chance to pick that thing off for Simeon Coleman, and he could not wrangle it. The story of the season for Cincinnati.
Yeah, you're going to watch Parker Kingston at the top of the screen. He's going to run a comeback route. They're going to have him completely covered here, right underneath, and then Simeon is going to go from his spot as a curl hook defender and make the play over the middle. He's got to catch this one. I mean, Bear Bachmeier's trying to throw it to his brother, Tiger Bachmeier. Simeon does a nice job of getting there, but doesn't finish the play. They got to find a way to get those type of turnovers.
Tigers saved Bear a pick, it looked like. Ball on the ground, picked up by Covey. That's daring. And it's a smart choice. Wow. Covey on a ground ball takes it across the 35. It's a 57-yard return.
Manny Covey's telling everybody, Peter, get out of the way. And this guy must have played baseball, because the way he just scooped that one up was like a shortstop. And then he's off to the races. Sometimes when you're trying to do things you've never done before, you got to do some things that you've never done before. That right there was awesome.
That is a shocking decision. But when you haven't created turnovers and you haven't flipped the field, it's exactly what Cincinnati needs.
100%. Now, as an offense, you ask yourself, do you take a shot here on first down? If it was me, I would.
Out of the pistol, they will hand it, and it is Pryor tripped up by Tanu Vasa, who may have saved a trip to the red zone at least. It's a gain of 6 instead of much more.
And I talk about taking those shots because they're getting one-on-one man coverage, bump and run on the outside. And head coach Scott Satterfield told us that they have to hit those deep down the field, and their receivers have to make those plays. So look for them to start taking advantage of those, especially if it becomes a repeat thing from this BYU defense.
Off the substitution, BYU will bring off Tanu Vasa. Last time they had 12 on the field after this happened. They have the right number this time. Sorsby ready to throw, lobbing this way. On the money to Cyrus Allen, the touchdown maker. His 11th of the year is beautiful.
Oh, my Lord. What a beautiful concept they just ran right here. You're going to see a shallow route from the outside receiver. Cyrus is going to push vertical, and then, I'm not running it. Nope. He's going to do a double move, and they confuse number 2, Jonathan Cabella, with that concept. They rolled Sorsby away. I mean, just a beautiful scheme to get that receiver, Cyrus Allen, wide open.
Cyrus Allen gave up football for a while when he was a kid in New Orleans. And he said to us yesterday, he said, I picked it back up because I was losing when I was doing it. I didn't love it, but I missed it. And I thought to myself, what would I do with my life but for football? So he picks the game back up. He shows up here at Cincinnati after Louisiana Tech and Texas A&M. And now he's got tied for the 3rd most receiving touchdowns in a single season in school history at Cincinnati.
It just goes to show you what the game of football can do to change a young man's life. And right now, Cyrus Allen is paying the game back for what it's blessed him for. Great play call there, great execution, and we got ourselves a game.
Well, you know he loves big moments because we asked him about his high school basketball career. What do you like? A driver, shooter? He goes, kind of like Steph Curry. Just go for it, Cyrus.
So yeah, hey, Cyrus,
love it.
If you're Steph Curry, I don't know why you're not in the NBA, but guess what? We love the fact that you're on this field playing today because you're making plays and making everybody, at least the Bearcat fans at home and in this stadium, extremely proud.
Manny Covey made that happen on the pickup of the bouncing ball on the punt. And downstairs to Alexa.
Well, this Cincinnati sideline has come alive, and Cyrus Allen's smile radiates just like it did in our meeting room. He said a big part of coming to Cincinnati was his relationship with Sorsby. Sorsby called him every day when he was in the transfer portal. He said, you're coming here to Cincinnati. They're the best of friends. And Robert, you know the relationship between a quarterback and a wide receiver. He said they trash talk one another. One gives them a good ball, one drops the ball. They have a fun relationship, but I know they're happy with that one.
We told Brendan Sorsby that Cyrus Allen called Sorsby his best friend. Sorsby said, aw. L.J. Martin straight ahead. Oh, man. Just pounding away on Gola Collard. Yikes.
Oh, my goodness. Just take a listen to this collision by L.J. Martin. Oh. I can feel that way up here in the booth. Oh my goodness, the vision and the physicality. Boom, run through a man's face. L.J. Martin ain't playing out there, man.
Sparks flying off of that. attempted hit. Now Martin and Navahine in there together, and it's Martin who's tripped up by Golday. Second down. The one thing we know about BYU, whether it be the Texas Tech loss, the close game at Arizona, the close game against Utah, the first half deficit against Iowa State, this is a resilient team.
Oh yeah, and they typically get better as the game goes on because of their physicality. It's like watching George Foreman in his prime. He's just beating guys up for 6, 7, 8 rounds. By the time they get to the end of the fight, they're like, hey, just take me out.
Just grilling people. Second down, it's a throw for Martin on a swing pass. He's got the first down, playing a hopscotch across midfield.
I got to give you your props for that one. He's grilling people.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was a great one. That was a good one. But there you see LJ Martin showing off the versatility, right? He can run the football. He can pound you in the second and third level of defense, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. That's what NFL scouts love to see from these big backs. You can't be a guy that cannot be a threat out of the backfield anymore if you want to go to the next level and be an impact player on all 4 downs now.
Important, too, with Chase Roberts on the sideline. He had been in the tent. He is not on the field right now. Bachmeier giving ground and flinging it this way for Carson Ryan in a tangle with Sanks, and he could not hang on. It's second down.
Yeah, if you're Carson Ryan, you see this one in, you got to violently pull that one in and not worry about necessarily the hit, but securing the football. Bear is thinking to himself, all right, we got one, we're moving on to the next set of downs and a new set of chains. And now they're sitting in second and long. This is exactly where the Cincinnati defense wants this BYU offense to be at.
Navahine, the tailback, they will feed him, and Enoch Navahine gets chopped down after 2. Christian Harrison coming up from the third level to set up third and long for BYU.
And now you see the Cincinnati Bearcats defense is playing with a little more energy. They're getting downhill faster. They're shedding blocks. They are starting to believe, and it's because BYU, early on in this game, we call it playing with your food a little bit. They've left it that way, so now they found themselves in a dogfight.
See those wide splits. Ryan and Phillips at the bottom. Bachmeier looking that way and throwing for Phillips, and JoJo Phillips is out of bounds, incomplete. He could not drag the foot. It's fourth down.
Yeah, you'll see the end of this play here. Ball hits his hands. Foot is, ooh, that looks like that might be a catch.
When does he have control?
Yeah, he doesn't drag the foot, but if they're going to count that foot that was already down when the ball hits his hands, let's see.
Incomplete pass. The previous play is under replay review.
Yeah, it's when does he have control? That foot is down right now.
That looks like control with the foot down. That's a catch, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, did he have it at that moment? Mike Pereira is with us. Mike, the call on the field is incomplete. Do you see enough to overturn?
I do, because to me he sticks it. That's what we always talk about. Do you stick it? He's got both hands on the ball and still has that foot on the ground before it comes up. So to me, this is one where I like, again, watch this called stick it. Goes right in between the hands. Hands now have control of the ball, toes still on the ground. I think that's a catch.
Thank you, Mike. It's a consensus. The three of us agree. That looks like a catch. But again, you can't blame the official. They're doing it in real time.
Yes.
Right? That's a very difficult call to make. I know saying you can't blame the official means that social media would have to be wiped off the planet. But it's a tough call to make.
It is. And I found the sideline for Cincinnati to just be so fascinating during all of these moments because they're so convincing. No, that was not a catch.
Right.
He didn't get the foot down. And what are they supposed to say in those moments? But you can tell how much everyone on both sidelines want to win this game. They are locked in and dialed into everything that is happening. But I think we should walk away with this one with JoJo Phillips having the catch.
Let's see, Mike McCabe.
After review, the receiver had firm control of the ball, completed the process of making the catch, inbound. Results of play, The first down.
JoJo Phillips back from injury, finally healthy a couple weeks ago, shook off the rust. Big spot with Roberts on the sideline.
Yep.
Gain of 13.
And your point about Roberts being on the sideline is the most important one, because they're going to need more out of JoJo Phillips. And if the Bearcats are going to continue to play deep and off, those out routes are going to be there all day long.
Well, motion Kingston again. Fake the speed option. Bachmeier on a screen. Middle of the field, right back to Ryan. And it's tractor pull time. First down, BYU.
Ooh, this is a nifty play. Nifty play that they just ran right there. You're going to see Carson Ryan coming back across the formation after they booted Bear Bachmeier out. And then he's just dragging the guy for more yards. And watch the, oh my goodness. Bear just got hit in the chin extremely hard, and those are the ones that hurt the most as a quarterback, because you're not expecting it after that completion.
10 hits tonight for Bear Bachmeier. Motion Martin. Bachmeier hangs onto it for a while, throws that one off the shoulder of Ryan. Golday might have gotten a piece of it before that. It's second down coming up. It hits something. Yeah, it was Golday that got the hand up, and it's second down.
Yeah, you can see Bears playing with anticipation here, so before his guy comes open, even if he's not slipping and falling, he's not getting that one past Golday. Good job getting his hand up, understanding the weakness of the coverage, and not allowing Bear to beat him to the spot.
Jake Golday told us he loves playing in space. Looked like it there.
Yeah, it did.
Second down, Martin. Behind a block from Hagan, and Martin lost his mouth guard maybe. Something flew off. Down on the ground. I mean, there's just flotsam and jetsam flying around.
Holy smokes, watch this. Boom! Bow! Bing! I mean, they are out there playing rock'em sock'em robots. These young men came out here ready to hit today. Jaquan Sanks was the one that got the brunt of that second hit. But I did see a mouthpiece fly up in the air.
Yeah, that was powerful, to say the least.
Looked like it hurt.
3rd and 1. And a whistle and a marker. It's on BYU. Kalani Sitake said after the first quarter they've had some issues with the noise.
Prior to the snap, false start offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
It's Jada, the left tackle, the Colorado transfer.
Yeah, you can see Isaiah Jada right here on the edge of the offense. Just get a little antsy. Ooh, and it was just a little bit. But Shakira did say the hips don't lie, and his hips went a little forward right there.
And why would you ever argue with Shakira?
You can't.
Cincinnati, 35 defensive penalties, no penalties overall tonight. They wanted the screen again. He'll give ground and get it away for Hagan, who's dropped. Before he could get there, Antoine Peak Jr., the legacy safety, gets the stop, and BYU has a choice at the 2-minute timeout.
Yeah, you're going to see him come from all the way in the middle of the field and track down Hagan to make that tackle before they can get the first down. And they're flying around out there right now.
It's 47, not 47. BYU's going for this thing. They run up to the line on 4th down. Kingston in motion. Martin the tailback. Will they snap it?
They're just trying to draw him off sides.
Yeah, timeout. BYU, they ran up to the line. And nobody home. Now for a quick message from Graduate by Hilton. Surprising low-scoring game. BYU has held the ball for 19-plus minutes. They're going to try and take the points here with Will Farron. BYU does get the ball at a halftime. That might be part of this calculus here.
Yeah, 100%. Trying to own that middle 8 of the game.
Farron from 31 after the miss from Rusnak earlier for Cincinnati, and BYU takes the lead because of that, 10-7. So Cincinnati has 3 timeouts. They have a $1.56, and their special teams has served them well recently. It's time for a game summary sponsored by Pacific Life, building confident futures for nearly 160 years. 8 minutes of offensive football for Cincinnati, and they're right in this despite not converting on a 3rd down tonight.
Yeah, it's been a very weird game. You've had some long drives that have stalled, a couple turnover on downs, and what it does is your BYU team that is trying to exercise those demons of going on the road late in the year and coming away with big-time wins, and they're, like I said, right here in the thick of it. Every game in the Big 12 is a competitive game. You saw what happened earlier between Kansas State and Utah. There are no weeks off. This conference is deep from the top all the way down to the bottom. And the Cincinnati Bearcats, they're fighting for everything for their season tonight, and you're seeing it in the way that they approach this game.
It's a fair catch for Wilson. This Cincinnati team, Robert, at 7-3, they had the opening loss to Nebraska and Kansas City, but a game that they could have won. It was a close ball game against the Huskers out of the Big Ten. Then they just blitzed people. 41 points per game, just an all-out offensive assault. Last 2 games, they got crushed by Utah on the road. The Arizona game was very winnable for Cincinnati. Once you got into it, they couldn't get a couple of stops late against Noah Fafita and that offense, and now they're in a situation where they need to win out and get some help.
Yeah, and that starts by just doing your job, and here they get the ball coming out of halftime, so if they can find a way to get some points here, it's big time for Cincinnati, knowing that they could actually come out and take the lead.
It's a throw for Goody, and he's across the 30-yard line. Yeah, Cincinnati deferred. They will have it first. So BYU takes the points, deciding that they'd like to try to have the lead so Cincinnati can't try to go take it here. Sigale Esera with the stop, Robert.
And now here it's all about getting that first down so your offense can start to flow into your 2-minute drill.
There's Sorsby again, does not want to take the sack. He'll throw it out of bounds. You said it early. He is very willing to take a hit and throw, but he's not going to get sacked.
Yeah, his offensive linemen love him because some quarterbacks will sit in the pocket and they will not throw the ball away because they don't want it to affect their stats. He is not really worried about that completion percentage. He's trying to keep his team in favorable down and distances, and I know all of his offensive linemen love it, and his offensive coordinator does too.
Danger here is a quick 3 and out. It's 3rd down and 4. Sorsby scanning and rolling. Sorsby gets away, and he is across the line to gain. Schoonover wanted a holding penalty at the line. It was not there. It's a 1st down, Cincinnati.
Yeah, you're going to see Tanu Vasa is going to loop around to go and get him, and he makes that play, but they're back up to the line of scrimmage, ready to run the next play.
After his 9-yard run, Sorsby stepping up. He gets hit, and he is dropped by Tanu Vasa right at the line of scrimmage. 3 timeouts for Cincinnati, and they will use one right now.
First charge timeout.
First timeout, Cincinnati. We're back in 30 seconds.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start, so he went to AutoZone, where an AutoZoner helps him choose a new battery, so he can make the tailgate and celebrate.
This week on Chewy, shop and save up to 40% off on treats they want, toys they love, or food they devour. All the best price gifts for any pet. For low prices, for holidays with pets, there's Chewy.
This is a high-quality offensive line for Cincinnati. A couple of transfers in there and a couple of homegrown guys as well. 3 sacks for Brendan Sorsby, who took a bunch of big hits just as he was releasing the ball last week against Arizona.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to take those hits, but he does not want them to turn into negative plays. Now, what I want to see from Cincinnati now is they have to give him easier underneath check down throws because BYU is playing so soft in their coverage.
Pressure right up the middle in his face. It's Walker, ushered out of bounds by Akana, and it's 3rd down for Cincinnati.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. They know that if BYU is going to play them deep to short, you got to have some easy checkdowns, and Walker right there gets a nice gain on a checkdown.
It's a run for Walker, and he's taken to the paint. It'll be 4th down and 2.5. Alexander, the corner, with the stop. Now, if you're Cincinnati, Do you chance this and go for it?
Yeah, I don't know about that play call there on the run, but the reason you do that is because you are setting yourself up to go for it on 4th down, but it puts you in a little bit of a bind with so much time left on the clock. If you don't get this, you're putting BYU in prime position to go score.
Yeah, Cincinnati does get it after halftime, so they can play the low-scoring game and try to punt this thing. Instead, now there's movement at the line. Cincinnati didn't respond with movement in kind, though. And now Cincinnati might bury a timeout. Yeah, they're gonna.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Jason. They could have easily gotten a free 5 yards there and moved the chains for a 1st down. He moves, you move.
Yeah, if the defensive lineman is across into the neutral zone, all it takes is a lineman to move, backpedal out of your stance. That's an immediate 1st down.
All Tarantayo, the right guard, had to do there was fall down or act like he was shocked by that movement, and they've got a new set of downs. That's a colossal mistake right there.
Now, the defensive player does have to be in the neutral zone.
Yes.
So the movement has to be enough. It looked like to the naked eye, didn't you? He was in there?
It looked like he was in there to me.
Yeah. What a wild first half this has been for a 10-7 game.
And you know, one of the guys I've seen that do the best is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He always tells, hey, snap the ball if he's in the neutral zone so we can get a free play, throw the ball down the field, no holds barred. If it gets picked off, it doesn't matter. But a lot of times you throw a touchdown because you catch everyone off guard in those situations. Maybe they weren't prepped on that. Maybe that's not what they do. But if it's not, they need to start doing it.
Cincinnati's going for this. Gerd, the extra tight end. Sorsby on the run. He has it. 1st down, Cincinnati. Gutsy call from Satterfield.
Yeah. And it's just a true zone read downhill from Walker, and you're going to see Sorsby, boom, hit that gap, and they're back up to the line of scrimmage again. Oh, smart tactic here by BYU because Cincinnati subbed. They can now take their time getting subs on the field and run down the clock.
So they forced a timeout for Cincinnati. BYU has been savvy all day long with the substitution pattern. So Cincinnati uses that timeout. That's the last one for the Bearcats. So that's their final timeout. And they've all come off the board very quickly.
Yeah, they have. And you could see the frustration there from Brendan Sorsby, the quarterback, knowing that, hey, man, we had him right there. But when you go to these big, heavy sets on 4th and short, those aren't your best passing sets. But you see him right, he was like, come on, man, what are we doing?
You know, if you really need to substitute, why not spike the ball?
Yeah.
And then give yourself the chance.
Correct.
With the clock not running.
Correct. When they made the decision to run the football there on 4th and short, you knew you were going to be at a deficit when it came to the clock. So you can spike it to keep your timeout, or you take the timeout early. But right there, as you said, BYU just a step ahead in the coaching department of getting their guys on and off the field whenever Cincinnati subs.
That's why coordinators like to have flexible personnel as well. It's Sorsby feeling the pressure, rolling to the right. Sorsby will throw, and this is to the sideline and incomplete. Hunter Clegg was chasing him first. Goody was the target. It's 2nd down, Cincinnati, 39 seconds.
I mean, you watch this coverage. We call these coverage sacks. I mean, the entire linebacker crew is 15 yards deep in their drops. They are not going to allow Brendan Sorsby to just throw the ball deep down the field to get these big chunk plays. They're going to make him be patient, which is why I keep saying they got to have a shallow underneath route that he can dump the ball off to.
Pressure from the safety spot. Sorsby right down the middle. A laser for Allen. 1st down, Cincinnati.
And what happens just as we say that? A linebacker gets out of position and Sorsby hits a deep seam right over the top of him on a crossing route.
Royer in motion. We haven't seen him catch the ball yet. They'll go to the sideline. Feed Allen again. Back-to-back catches for New Orleans' finest.
Yeah, and you see the eyes. Sorsby's like, oh, Jack Kelly, you get out of position? Okay, baby. I'm going to throw it right over the top to my favorite receiver, Cyrus Allen. And they're moving 22 seconds left on the clock. They've got to get this football at least to the 10-yard line on any throws that they make here, and be aware to get the football out of bounds to continue to try to stop the clock and maximize the amount of plays that they can get.
No timeouts. Pressure coming. Sorsby doubles back and unloads to the sideline. That is incomplete. Isaiah Glasker on the pressure. 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, and this is a really nice job of BYU. You got the double A gaps. That's not the right one. The double A gaps with Glasker right there in the middle. He is going to fire. Jack Kelly gets occupied by the center. And just a smart decision by Sorsby. Again, throw the football away. You cannot have a sack in this situation because you're not going to be able to get back up to the ball fast enough, and you don't want to lose those points.
Last time he tried one, Rusnak missed from this hash mark. It's 3rd down and 4, and it's Sorsby to throw. He wants the end zone. He gets nothing. It is 4th down. BYU flows the coverage over to Jennings. Raider DeMooney was in the area, and Rusnak will try to tie the game late in this first half. This young man didn't miss last year at Charlotte. He was 11 for 11 in field goals, 25 for 25 extra points. He and Ryan Fitzgerald, who's now with the Carolina Panthers, were the only 2 perfect last year. This from 40, Rusnak. It is on the way, and this time he kicked the upright. Oh man, he overcorrected, and it's still 10-7 BYU.
Oh my goodness. You're going to see this. Gets the hold down. You said he overcorrected, and now we've got a tip in the nip. Oh my goodness.
You know, you wondered when it's sitting there at the hash mark that caused him the trouble last time, and you can't run it into the middle of the field, so that expenditure of the timeout, because of Sitake's substitution pattern, it all kind of butterfly affects its way into creating some havoc for Cincinnati at the end of this first half, and BYU will take a knee and go into halftime needing to win 2 games to get to the Big 12 title game. Those small details have served them very well this year.
Yeah, you talk about that, owning the middle 8. Cincinnati needed to get some points there so they could come out with the ball and go get some more. They didn't do that, and now they go into halftime with 0 momentum.
Alexa downstairs with Scott Satterfield.
Well, Coach, let's start with your defense. You wanted them to be aggressive tonight. How'd you like the way they came out of the gate?
Yeah, we're playing aggressive, you know, doing a good job not giving up big plays. I think that's the key right there. You know, we got to keep doing it. We got to keep out of the end zone.
And offensively, been stalled a bit in the red zone. How do you get through that, especially in the first drive of the second half?
Yeah, they're a good red zone defense. We've moved the ball well. We missed 2 picks. You know, that's the difference in the game. We should have the lead right here. We got to come out here and get something established in the first half and get the ball first.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Yeah, further down the line now, how much confidence do you have late in the game? We'll find out. Send you back to our studio. Mike Hill, Chris Peterson, Bruce Feldman, State Farm Halftime Show right now. Might make it to midnight tonight. Fox College football sponsored by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram. Cincinnati had opportunities. They trailed 10-7. Our halftime report card sponsored by Graduate by Hilton. Spirited stays in your favorite college town. BYU had the ball for almost double the time, but Cincinnati had a couple forays into the 25 BYU territory. Didn't pay it off. 2 missed field goals, oddly enough. But again, it's all in front of BYU. You win 2, you're in the Big 12 title game.
Yeah, and you have to say to yourself, if you're BYU, we should be winning this game by more. But if you're Cincinnati, you're saying, hey, we haven't played very good, and we're only down by 3. So I look at both these quarterbacks, and I think they're pressing a little bit, maybe making some throws down the field that they shouldn't, and they need to just stay within their wheelhouse. Bear Bachmeier had a couple of decisions that I was like very questionable. Why are you throwing that into a defensive team meeting? But if you're BYU, run the football more with L.J. Martin. He is cooking so far tonight. And for Cincinnati, they have to get Evan Pryor more touches. When he touches the football, he is electric.
4 carries for Pryor, 37 yards. Cincinnati's only run 31 plays, seeing the ball for all of 10 minutes. Bearcats get it first. It's a chip shot kick by Farron to an up man for Cincinnati, and the Bearcats will get to the 25, and there's a whistle. I believe a fair catch to create the whistle. So Grover calls for a fair catch at some point, and we'll go downstairs to Alexa.
Well, Coach Sitake came right out of the half and told me we got to play cleaner. We made way too many mistakes. He highlighted that 57-yard punt return for Cincinnati that gave them momentum offensively. He said that cannot happen. We know how important this game is. And he said we knew it wasn't going to be easy. And JB, it's not going to be easy offensively because I got word wide receiver Chase Roberts will not return to tonight's game. I saw him on the sideline during BYU's last drive. He was nursing something, did not have his helmet, so he will be out the rest of the evening.
That's their leading receiver in receiving yards, 702 of them, 5 touchdowns as well. Out. So more of Tiger Bachmeier, Bear's brother, down the stretch.
Yeah, and that's a huge loss. We talked about Parker Kingston becoming the #1 receiver, but it was also because of the attention that was being paid to Chase Roberts. Now someone else has to step up in the spot.
Pryor shifted into the pistol, and as Sarah makes the stop, it's a gain of 2. Second down coming up, but Cincinnati, 2 missed field goals, 1 for 7 on third down. BYU's defense last 2 weeks, 2 for 17 third down.
Yeah. And right now, BYU is letting you know right off that first play, they are going to stop the run, loaded the box, and they're trying to make Brandon Sorsby beat them passing.
Oh, man, as Sarah came out of the locker room with his hair on fire.
Siale Acera. You're going to watch him right here in the middle of defense. Watch him fill this gap right here. I got nothing else to say. Boom! Got the neck roll on. Anytime I see a guy with a neck roll on defense in 2025, that's a bad son of a gun.
Well, he's got a neck roll, and he reads The Art of War by Sun Tzu. It's a tough combination. You're not going to get by him. Third down, opening drive, second half, Cincinnati. Sorsby fakes it left, runs it right, throws on the go, down the field, intercepted by Wall. His 4th of the year playing center field.
Tanner Wall, just ball hawking safety. I want you guys to watch him here as he flows with Sorsby as the ball is snapped. Watch his vision back to the quarterback. His eyes are there. Hey, he scrambles. All right, I'm feeling the deep defender, get my head around, and this is such a terrible underthrow. Tanner Wall probably could have caught that with one hand. And we have seen him go up in Moss receivers. That might be the easiest interception he's had all year.
If he looks like a center fielder, it's because he was one playing baseball growing up. L.J. Martin mazing through the defense. He's got 13, maybe 14. It's a first down for BYU.
Yeah, and you're talking about L.J. Martin continuing to work this wide zone. They got the tight end coming back to seal the edge, but he's working wide zone away and cutting all the way back, not cutting back too soon, but allowing his offensive linemen to move this Cincinnati Bearcat D-line. You see his eyes. He is locked in and ready to run this football even more.
This way, Kingston gives some ground to get it right back, and Parker Kingston dragged down by Harrison, who's been active from that nickel spot. Second down.
Yeah, and what I'm noticing right now is almost every time before the snap, if L.J. Martin is the guy that might get the ball, he does this breath and sits down in his stance. Might be something to watch throughout the rest of this game. When he does that little bend right there, he is getting the football.
He is this time switching back. L.J. Martin ramming forward for a first down. Maybe the deep breath lets him break 3 tackles.
I mean, you got to look for tendencies. But this right here, when he goes and he bends right there, he is locked into bad mother sucker mode. He knows he's getting the football, and he is trying to hit anybody in his way, and that's exactly what he did right there, Jason, to go get that first down.
You know, it's interesting talking to him a couple weeks ago. He said, in these moments, sometimes I think, of all the guys on this team, they chose me. And he runs like it's a privilege, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He cherishes every single carry and gives this team everything that he possibly has.
Fake it to Kingston and give it instead to Hagan. And he is dropped by Golday. What a beautiful read by the senior Golday.
This is what you call staying at home. Golday is right here off the edge. I want you to watch Corleone in the middle. He's the one that starts the disruption. Boom. Swims through, makes everybody feel chaotic, and then Golday stays home where he's supposed to be and tracks down the track star, Cody Hagan, before he can ever get around the edge.
It's a loss of 9. 2nd and 19. A promising drive might circle the drain for BYU. Let's see. It's Martin down the sideline meeting McDoom. It's a collision meant for that name. There's a marker down at the 40 right at the sideline as well. It's a gain of 10 if it stands. Would set up a 3rd and 9. Cincinnati has not been penalized.
Face mask. Defense number 46. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
It's on Antoine Peak Jr., an oft penalized Cincinnati team. Yeah, they got it on Peak. We think it might be McDoom on the tackle here.
Yeah, you're going to see him go for the tackle, grab and pull the side of the face mask down. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, if it's that. I mean, they did call it on 46, but
46
Peak was late.
46 was running across late and didn't get anybody's face mask, so I'm not really seeing that from the side of the face mask pull. But hey, they called it.
Martin picks his way for 6, maybe 7, down to the 20. And this is where LJ Martin can grind you down to a nub. He is now a 1,000-yard rusher for BYU this year. I mean, he started today top 6 in the nation in yards after contact.
Him being healthy, Jason, is one of the best things for this offense because they can really lean on him in these situations.
And they will. I mean, you see how far along he is before he's even touched. Now Tiger Bachmeier getting into it with Peak. You know, Tiger Bachmeier is a soft-spoken young man. We spent some time with him yesterday talking about pole vaulting and robotics and reflecting on time with his brother. But don't let that fool you. He is a rugged football player, and he just got right into it with Peak.
Yeah, they're trying to let this defensive secondary know that they're not going to be bullied around, and maybe Tiger is the enforcer.
Kingston around the edge. Kingston down to the 9. Boy, it's an interesting relationship between Tiger and Bear Bachmeier. Tiger is a very curious, super interesting young man. He was talking about his time with Bear and how they drive along, listen to music together. They explore cities they're in together. And every once in a while, in a big moment, they'll scan the crowd for their family. Like, they love the story of 1989, the 49ers, Joe Montana saying to Harris Barton in the huddle, in the crowd, looking into the crowd saying, is that John Candy? The late great actor in the big spot. It's a run for Bear, and Bear Bachmeier rapping on the door down to the 1.
You're going to see them pull Sourchoke and the left tackle Isaiah Jota and allow Bear Bachmeier to do what he does best. Pump fake and get north and south. Boom. These are the types of runs that he has become notorious for throughout this season. Always falling forward, get the big fella going straight, and that's when he's his most effective.
Svarchuk in the backfield. They're going to roll out Bachmeier, and it's incomplete. He wanted Osler, the extra tight end. The big fellow was going to get fed, but Bachmeier was off the mark.
Oh, those are the ones you can't miss, man. We got the big fella Osler here. He's just running a corner route. Hey, I'm blocking. No, I'm not. Put it on his body. Just look how big his body is. Just put it on his body, man. I'm with you. I'd be upset too. You want the big fellas to get some love, but you got to throw it to him.
Instead, it's Martin. It's a touchdown.
And this is what I love most about this run. This defender coming off the edge. L.J. Martin knows I got to get there before he can get to me. So watch how he speeds up his feet as soon as he gets the ball. He knows that that edge defender is unblocked. That's what you need as a running back. It's not just, hey, put it in my belly and I'll go score. You have to understand what the defense is doing in front of you. And right there, he showed you exactly that.
How about that? 3 tight ends. They had the step ladder formation, the previous one. They bring in Svarchuk for both of them. He's lined up in a different spot along with Carson Ryan, and BYU very inventive offensively with Aaron Roderick. And the extra point is good for Farron. BYU trying to solve what happened last year. A couple of losses down the stretch kept them out of the Big 12 title game. The first turnover tonight creates some space for the Cougars. 11 plays in 5.5 minutes. It's a 10-point game. Fox College Football is sponsored by Allstate. You're in good hands. So is Big Noon kickoff. Cats, jumping cats, and dogs. Good. How about the surprise linebacker show up?
Yeah, I was not expecting to see Jacob Rodriguez on the set. Him and his wife, Emma Rodriguez, came out to further his Heisman conversation, but that was really cool.
Still number 1 on your list?
Still number 1 on my list. Best player in the country, leading the best defense. He's got the story and he's got the stats. That young man should definitely be in New York.
You can't lose your number 1 spot on a bye, can you?
Jeremiah Love had himself a day today.
Yeah. Hey, we don't need to talk about that. Syracuse closed on a 7-0 run. It's great. Brendan Sorsby, you said it off the top of the show. Protect the football. First turnover of the game led to a BYU touchdown, Robert.
And you could almost say, hey, if they throw a pick, you might as well, chalk up the game. But this is his opportunity to show that we can bounce back from turnovers, especially ones that I create. What they need to do here is not abandon the running game. Don't try to get it all back with one throw or one play. But I'd love to see Coach Satterfield get him an easy completion so he can see the ball completed and get his confidence back.
Quick throw. They wanted that easy one and got it there. It's Goody down the sideline. Oh, baby. That was nearly a pick 6 for Evan Johnson.
Oh, my Lord. Watch Evan Johnson right here. His eyes are on the quarterback. So as soon as he comes out, he jumps this and is looking to go back the other way. But the ball placement to the outside by Brendan Sorsby to Caleb Goody saved him. If that ball is inside just an inch more, it's going the other way.
BYU has 15 picks. There's some pressure up the middle from Jack Kelly, and it's Allen with that grab, his 4th catch to lead the team tonight.
Yeah, you might want to block that guy, but they brought Jack Kelly right between the nose and the defensive end where there was no offensive lineman to block him. And this is something that defensive coordinator Jay Hill told us they wanted to do all along. Pressure Brendan Sorsby up the middle, get him off his spot, because they don't think he's as effective doing that. But right there, he showed them that he can be effective on the move.
Tawi Walker cuts upfield and gets dragged down, but he was the one who knocks there. Siale Acera took the hit, and it is very close to the line to gain.
Oh. Now I want you guys to know that Tawi Walker is 5'8", 218 pounds. So when they say the low man wins, he is always the low man.
I know the feeling. It's a first down, Cincinnati. We have a whistle and a marker in.
False start. Offense, number 10. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
It's on Goody. Jay Hill told us yesterday, among other things, as you're talking about the pressure up the middle, that this run game just cannot get on track. That's where it all starts for BYU. And man, what a season he has had calling this defense.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a team that's been very multiple and gives the quarterback a lot of different things to pay attention to. He's done a masterful job making these calls.
Pryor, a hit down the sideline on the wheel. It's first down, Cincinnati.
Yeah, and Evan Pryor, they don't throw the football to their backs a lot, but watch him as he runs this rail route to the sideline and gets his eyes back so quickly. I love to see that from backs. Get your eyes back so the quarterback knows that you're ready for the football.
That's not going anywhere. Anisi Purcell and his club get the stop. It is second down coming up.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a club on your hand, the one thing you should do is try to hit a guy pretty hard, knock him off balance, and Anisi Purcell did that.
Yeah, he is the king of clubs. Here tonight for BYU.
Oh, that is a great one.
Well, nobody's challenging his crown.
They are king clubs. I got to give credit where credit's due.
Second down, Sorsby. Schoonover's after him. Sorsby has to chuck it sideline. It's incomplete. That is brilliant coverage by BYU. We're talking 5-6 seconds there.
Yeah, they got the outside guys are all manned up. You're going to see the coverage. I mean, the amount of time his offensive line is giving him. They're covered to the front side. They're covered to the back side. They are sticking to these receivers like glue. And that means that Brendan Sorsby is going to start having to take calculated risks in one-on-one matchups to beat defenders with ball placement. He's got to have that confidence, and these receivers have to make the play.
That's why Cincinnati is just 1 for 8 on third down. This throw will be well short of the stick. It's Royer's first catch, the tight end Joe Royer, and now a big decision for Satterfield. He's seen 2 missed field goals. He's seen them bogged down inside the 5 as well.
And they've missed both of those field goals from the left hash. So he must not be a superstitious guy because he's bringing the kicker in to do it again. And, you know, you try the same thing over and over and get the same results. It's kind of like, what they call it, is it insanity?
That's where you start.
Hopefully this is not that case. I know he might go insane if the kicker misses this one, though.
Rusnak has just been phenomenal the last couple of years. This one is no good again. I don't know that the operation was fantastic there, but he missed it.
Yeah, let's look at the operation. Oh, no. That one is completely on the holder, but it doesn't go on the holder's stats. What a disaster.
Just an awful night to live with for the operation for Cincinnati. Steven Rusnak, the kicker, is the one dealing with it. He was 23 for 24 his last 21 college football games. Perfect 11 for 11 at Charlotte last year. Phenomenal kicker. Truly one of the best in college football. And tonight, pulled one left, missed one right, and then a rough hold from Fletcher, the punter, and he missed that one.
It's got to be 4-down territory for them from now on. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and missing these field goals with a bad operation up front.
Say you score a touchdown, right? And then you are driving down the stretch of the game. You have like a 4th and 8. First of all, it probably changes your play calling.
Yeah.
But what if you're boxed into it?
I would do everything I possibly can as a play caller to not be boxed into it, and instead of taking the approach if I got 3 downs to get a first down, you utilize all 4. That means maybe you run the football on 3rd and long or 3rd and short to get into a 4th and manageable so you can have your whole offense available for you.
Think of all the close games BYU has played. Not the team to do this with. Kingston lost the ball. It's on the ground, incomplete. McDoom dislodged it. It is 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, you're going to see McDoom come in and punch the ball out right away. Short King versus Short King right there. Both of them every bit of 5'9", but his eye on the ball was like an eagle hawk eye there. We've seen more and more people start using that peanut punch Even our guy Jacob Rodriguez over at Texas Tech, very effective because the receivers are not expecting that when they make that catch.
Cincinnati has got to have a stop. Bachmeier on a screen. It's Kingston looking for the outside, and he's tracked down by Peak. What a play, weaving through the maze by Peak.
And just a really nice job. Peak is going to be coming from this position. They're going to motion out Hagan to get this screen. We always say if nobody goes, I throws. No one goes with the motion. Peak comes downhill and makes the play on the very slippery Parker Kingston. And for some reason, this Cincinnati Bearcats team is not trying to go away. Their defense is coming up with crucial stops, giving their offense more opportunities to make plays when their offense has always been the strength of this team this year.
That was close to offsides. The marker has come in. Cincinnati was over the top of the long snapper, and this is likely going to be a BYU first down. Oh my goodness gracious.
Wow.
I mean, that is just unacceptable.
It takes all three phases to win in football, Jason. And special teams has been a complete catastrophe for the Cincinnati Bearcats tonight.
It's Quavo Sabor, the sophomore, it looks like, who was offside.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
I mean, that's just painful for a defense that had seen 35 penalties, 130th in the country coming in.
And it's right here. Sabor right off the edge. He's clearly in the neutral zone. So everything else that they do is okay and is working. But you can't line up in that position and really hurt your team and put BYU back out on the field on offense.
But then you have 27 coming over the long snapper as well. So if Sabor wasn't, you had somebody over the long snapper too. First down BYU regardless. Unreal. Martin the tailback, and they will put it right in his belly for 6.5. Harrison made the stop, but now, I mean, for a Cincinnati team that just hasn't had the ball very much at all anyway, they get to try to tackle Provo's bulldozer.
And L.J. Martin, that is a great description of the type of runner that he is. And they're putting him in this pistol formation, which makes it harder for the defense to set their front to where the back is offset. And when he gets downhill out of that pistol formation, he is hard to stop.
This is 6th 100-yard rush game already this year. It is a first down for BYU. Under 3 to go in the third quarter. Tomorrow, Fox NFL doubleheader. Justin Jefferson of the Vikings against the Packers and Jordan Love. Trying to track down the Bears suddenly in the division. Then America's Game of the Week. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Dak and the Cowboys, or Falcons Saints in the NFC South. Check your local listings for the game in your area only on Fox. You know, the NFL, we don't hear about style points. Here in college football, BYU has had that conversation pop up.
Yep.
If you win out, nobody's worried about style points. You win the Big 12. But this is one of those moments where if they extend the lead, people will talk about it. I personally, not the biggest fan of style points.
Nah.
Win the games and play well and do the damage yourself.
Win the game, everything else takes care of itself. If you struggle in a game, you hear people like, oh, why did they struggle against this team, but this team blew that team? Don't worry about that. Win the football game. Winning matters. What you do inside those lines matters. All BYU has to do tonight is continue to stack positive plays. And I think that's been their approach coming out in the second half. We're not going to be afraid to give the football to L.J. Martin 40 times if we have to tonight because he is cooking.
Playing without Chase Roberts. Here's Martin again. A long step through with his Cincinnati defense. And a first down BYU. He just weighs on you like a medicine ball.
Yes, and he's watching this linebacker right here, Mr. Dingle, as he overplays it. Boom, he hits the cutback. And that's how fast it is. He's not just reading the blocks of his offensive lineman. He's feeling the flow of the defense. And right now, L.J. Martin is in flow state as a runner.
You gotta, if you're a BYU fan, you gotta go watch his basketball highlights because he drove the ball like he runs the ball. Playing basketball, he was a carver in the middle of the lane.
He knew how to get to the rim and finish at the rim through contact, and that's exactly what he's doing tonight.
Fake it to Frischneck. Bachmeier gets to the outside, covers up the ball, and takes a lick from Williams. Bear Bachmeier hanging in, claws out.
Yeah, Bear Bachmeier is not afraid of contact. Listen to this collision.
He even made the down marker flicker.
He is not afraid of contact. He knows that he is built like a tank, or better yet, a bear. And right there, we talked about him getting north and south. He went east and west to get north and south, and that might be even more dangerous.
A bear and a tank combined is nightmare fuel for everybody watching. First down could be the final play of the quarter. Here goes Bachmeier running laterally this time, and he's stood up by Isaiah Rogers, the senior. It's a gain of 1, but BYU trying to fatigue Cincinnati at the tail end of this game. Is this the swan song for the Bearcats' Big 12 chances? We'll find out in 15 minutes.
4 conferences, or is it a Power 1 or a Power 2 conferences? Because if you're in a Power 4 and you have less losses than someone above you, they should never be ranked ahead of you. We'll get into that conversation a little bit later, but I am totally against conference bias.
BYU ran the ball 15 of 20 plays in that third quarter, and they will continue to trudge forward. BYU has had the ball for about 31 minutes now. It's what we expected, but man, is it stark.
Yeah, and as an offensive guy, when you're on the sideline and you're saying, we've only had the ball for 14 minutes, and we've been sitting on this sideline for 30 game minutes, how do you stay warm? How do you continue to know how to attack or what the defense is going to do to you when you're barely on the field to try to attack them? It is a mind game, and BYU is winning that mind game right now.
Off the motion from Phillips. Bachmeier rolling that way, trying to square his feet. He'll flow back to the right. Bear Bachmeier with some time, creating more for himself, and this is out of bounds. Discretion, the better part of valor for Bachmeier, the freshman. Dingle was on his tail, and it is a field goal chance for BYU.
Yeah, if this was... That's a great line, Jason. If this was high school football, I think that Bear Bachmeier probably would have tried to make one of those throws that he saw. But because it's big-time college football in the red zone, the windows are so much smaller, and it happens so much faster. That was a mature play by him to not force anything and still have them come away with points.
Will Farron from 32 from straight on. And this one is good. BYU's knocked in a couple of field goals. Cincinnati's missed 3. In the Queen City of Ohio, Cincinnati trailing 20-7. BYU has a chance tonight to clinch a berth in the Big 12 title game. All they need is for Coach Prime and Colorado to make up a 4-point deficit right now. They're in the third quarter. It's 21-17. The Fighting Kenny Dillinghams in Arizona State. BYU could do it tonight. With 2 wins, they're in no matter what else happens.
And you know, there's a bunch of BYU Cougar fans watching both games. They got them on split screen right now on the Fox Sports 1 app.
You are Switzerland, man. You are just playing the middle ground. Kickoff to the sideline, and it's caught by Wilson. Yeah, let's take 2.5 minutes and just think that over. BYU by 13, night side at Nippert Stadium. Fox College football sponsored by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram. Last 2 years, BYU is 5-0 in games decided by 1, 2, or 3. So you can't do any of these, let alone all of them, if you're Cincinnati.
Yeah, and you're sitting here down 13, 14 minutes left in the fourth, and you still got a chance to make it right.
Sorsby on a screen, get it to Royer. He has not been busy, and they don't screen it very much at all, but they felt at halftime like Royer just hadn't seen it nearly enough, his second catch.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Royer is an NFL tight end. Snappy route runner, great after the catch, and they just have not been able to find ways to get him the football, and I don't quite understand why.
Sorsby coming this way, and that's incomplete for Goody. 3rd down and 2 for Cincinnati. So again, the danger light is flickering on a short drive for the Bearcats.
Yeah, and that's the second time we've seen Caleb Goody have a little bit of issues judging the football on some of these out routes. And I'm just looking at this wide receiver group, and I'm saying to myself, where's Jeff Caldwell? Second lead receiver on the team, and he just has not been involved a ton tonight.
It's up top. Here's Sorsby. He will unload to the far side. He wanted Johnson. It is 4th down, and Sorsby took a pop.
Yeah, you're going to watch the route. They're going to do a switch release between the outside receiver and the slot. He gets out there. It's way out of bounds, and it might be because he could feel this hit coming from Schoonover, just going after his legs. And you know he's got a little bit of a leg injury coming into this game, so some of those hits are really starting to take their toll.
They're going to go for it here on 4th and 2 after a couple of throws instead of going for the run to get the 1st down. Pryor's a tailback. This is a throw. Sorsby is on target. It is a 1st down for Cincinnati and Goody. It's a gain of 6. They had to have 2.
And it's a simple flat route here with Goody running a hook. You get the curl flat defender to widen out, and boom, you make that throw, and he makes that contested catch there with Bamba all over his back.
On the orbit motion, here is Goody. He breaks 1 tackle and then gets slung down after picking up 5. Jonathan Cabella, the nickel out of Euless, Texas, gets 4 after the run for Goody.
And the reason I brought up number 9, Jeff Caldwell, is because he's their second leading receiver. And I know Caleb Goody is coming back in this game. They missed him in last week's game. But you can't allow your 6'5", 215-pound senior receiver to disappear in the game plan just because you get one of your other receivers back. He has to be more involved.
All throws here. Sorsby on the roll. He's got the 1st down, dodging outside. Brendan Sorsby got around Acera to pick up 14.
And you're going to see a nice token fake here to the running back just to try to hold everybody. And you're going to see Acera in the middle of your screen. He is the quarterback spy, and he takes a bad angle. Sorsby shows you, hey, I might be a little dinged up, but I still got that patented speed.
We have a whistle before the snap. There was substitution action happening. We have an official's timeout. Take a look and see where Sorsby went out of bounds, maybe. No stoppage from the replay booth and the command center, so this is live. 1st down, pressure from the backside. He did get it off and got it free to Pryor. Down the sideline, Akana was bearing down on Sorsby. He withstood it and let it rip.
Yeah, and you're going to see Akana at the top of your screen coming off the slot. They do a formation into the boundary just to give Evan Pryor a one-on-one to the field, and he makes the most of it. Gets the catch, gets vertical, and Isaiah Glasker, who is one of the better cover linebackers in the conference and in the country. But Evan Pryor's big playability continues to show up when they get in the ball.
Back and healthy. They'll sling it back this way. And a beautiful play to make the stop. The ball is down on the ground. It's Tavion Beasley grabbing onto the leg of Cincinnati's receiver Allen to stop that play. The ball was loose.
Yeah, you're going to see Tavion Beasley dip below the offensive lineman coming to tackle him. And I don't know if he was down. I think that ball came out. We got to show that a little bit slower. Look at it from this angle. He twists him, hand goes down, no wrist, no knee, ball's out.
Oh my.
And that he was in self-preservation mode right there because he felt like his leg was going to get twisted up.
And in the ensuing action, BYU was all over that football.
Yeah, immediate recovery.
The runner was down prior to fumbling the ball. The previous play is on the replay review.
And you're going to see it again. The hand does not cause him to be down. So no wrist, no elbow, ball's out before the forearm, shin, or the knee hits it. We'll see what they say.
A lengthy review in progress. The call on the field was that Cyrus Allen was down. As we look at it here, it looks like a fumble. The question is there enough evidence to overturn the call?
And that's the big question, because the ball appears to be coming out before the shin or the knee comes down. But we'll see what they say.
Mike Pereira, what do you have?
You know, it's a really interesting play, and you guys were all over it. Nothing puts him down until the shin gets to the ground. And when the shin gets to the ground, it feels like to us that it's out of his hand. It's still against his arm, but the hand's off the tip of the ball. So I think it's just a matter of where the replay center feels that it's enough to overturn it. I sure feel like it's coming loose.
Certainly looks like it. Mike, thank you for the breakdown there. If the shin is down, he is down, but you see it hovers there for a second as Beasley makes the tackle and kind of corkscrews him around.
Yep.
This is taking quite a while, and the question is, if it's taken this long, it might be where you're going to put the football.
Correct.
Because BYU in the ensuing action recovered the fumble. Glasgow ran away with it. Here's the call.
Review, the ball was fumbled and recovered by the defense. First down, BYU at the 22-yard line.
It's an outstanding play by Beasley, and then Glasgow to play through it to make sure you have the clear recovery afterward.
And this is why coaches always say, if you're a defensive guy, if the ball is on the ground, pick it up. Because moments like this happen. You don't know if he's completely down or if it was a fumble. But if you see the football in front of you, pick it up immediately so that they can say there was a clear, immediate recover of that fumble, and your team now gets the ball. Great coaching on BYU side, great awareness by Glasgow, and so impressed with Beasley because he didn't just make the tackle. He dove underneath the offensive line to go make that play. All around, everything is working for BYU right now.
And you saw down at the bottom of the screen what BYU does when they create multiple turnovers. L.J. Martin into space in the Cincinnati Knight. It's a first down across the 40. He is so tough late in games. Give him 21.
Yeah, and you were talking about this safety in the middle of the field. I want you to watch the running back, Navahine, get up there and make the block on Peak to give L.J. Martin an opportunity to continue to push this rock down the field. Goes for the stiff arm, just misses it, and it trips him up right there. The big-time run he is starting to wear more and more on this Bearcat defense, just like we said he is known to do this entire season to every defense that they face.
And he's doing it still with not a completely healthy shoulder, as we have a flag coming in, and no timeout for his timeout. BYU. Cougars will have 2 left. Cincinnati has 3 remaining. We're inside of 10 minutes. BYU by 13. Thanksgiving Day on Fox. 2 iconic programs tip it off in a top 25 showdown. Tom Izzo's Spartans of Michigan State take on North Carolina, and Caleb Wilson, the freshman standout. Caleb Wilson, 4:30 Eastern, only on Fox. Big game here last night in the old college basketball ranks. Louisville got a win over Cincinnati. Cosmo making friends with Bearcat fans. Who do you think asked for that picture? Cosmo or the fan?
Probably the fan.
You would imagine. Cosmo is not a loud speaker.
It's not a talkative kind of Cougar, you know?
No. L.J. Martin on the run. Cosmo owns the place right now. Look at the strides. Like, that's a mascot who knows he's up 20-7.
Oh, yeah. It looks like he's been lifting weights. Oh.
And doing the parallel bars.
Standing backflip?
Yikes.
Holy cow.
That was the 18th run to 6 passes for BYU in the second half. They put you in a blender with this run game. This is as good as a run. It's Kingston, officially a throw, but that's the whole point of it. Harrison with the stop and a huge third down for Cincinnati's season.
Yeah, their season, everything that they wanted. You know, if they're able to come back and win this game, we talked about it, they have to control what they can control. You win out, you get some help, maybe you have a chance and a pathway to the Big 12 championship game. You lose this game, all that goes by the wayside. Everything that you were playing for the entire season goes by the wayside. So how do they stop it? If I'm them, I'm bringing pressure here to force Bear Bachmeier to have to make a quick decision.
Martin in motion. Bachmeier on the run. First door closed. Trying a stiff arm on Golden. Down he goes. Jack Dingle was in there first. It's a loss of 5.
And instead of bringing pressure, they play man coverage and keep these two guys in the box to spy Bear Bachmeier so he can't go anywhere. So if he goes to the left, they got him. He goes to the right, they got him, and they run him right into Pete Jr. And you see the pain on the face of Bear Bachmeier. That looks like a shoulder. I know a shoulder injury when I see one, and he is not loving how he's feeling right about now.
We'll see what happens when BYU gets it back. That's a fair catch for Covey, who had the biggest play of the day for Cincinnati on a bouncing ball punt return. But Bear Bachmeier going over to the bench, and you don't see him grimace like that very often.
Yeah, and it's because he got ran into that secondary hit. And this is why we tell quarterbacks, you got to be able to protect yourself. And you see him right there speaking some languages that we can't say on the air. But he's upset with himself because that was an unnecessary fight. At that point, you know they've got you. Go down, avoid that hit. You don't have to always be a battering ram and absorb those unnecessary hits from the defense.
With that, it's go time for Cincinnati. Sorsby down the middle. Johnson again in the clear to the 35. Last 4 drives for Cincinnati. 2 missed field goals, a pick, and a fumble. That's a big gain of 20 that time.
Yeah, really nice concept. It's like an all-go special concept where you have number 3 coming all the way across the formation with a shallow underneath it. Nice job hitting him in stride, and now they're rolling.
Sorsby climbing the pocket, and he's wrapped up and dropped by Pouha. Viliami Pouha with the stop.
Viliami Pouha, what an epic name that is. But Sorsby, if he can just get his feet up through the traffic, he might still be running for another 10 to 15 yards. You can tell he wants to use his legs, but maybe that burst isn't quite there like it originally was.
We saw him take a big hit last week. He was limping at the tail end of that Arizona game. 4-man rush. He'll clear the pocket, and Sorsby on the run. He just gets pulled down by the turf monster. And it'll be 3rd down and 5.
And again, sometimes when you are a little dinged up, a little banged up, the body doesn't quite respond the way that you want it to respond. He's used to making that cut and continuing to run down the field like nothing happened. But maybe that injury is making his receptors in his brain not quite pick up those toes like you want them to.
They'll go 5 wide here, 4 up top. Sorsby has to hurry. He gets it off, and he's got the first down to Noah Jennings, who breaks a tackle and then finally gets spun down just short of midfield. It's a gain of 9 and a nice catch and run for the former Charleston Southern Buccaneers.
And right now, Noah Jennings almost didn't get the first down because he thought about going backwards, but eventually course corrected, goes forward, and Sorsby just has to continue to take completions. Find the completion, complete the ball. Don't try to force the ball down the field too much here.
Lasker in coverage in the slot up top. It'll be a deep ball down the sideline. Sorsby puts it on the money. It's Covey again. Another dynamite play. Sorsby under duress hits a bullseye for 37.
And it's to the guy you wouldn't expect it to come from. You see the hit right there, but when the receiver down the field makes a play like this, and this is Covey on BYU's best defender in Jack Kelly, not necessarily known for his man-to-man coverage skills. So for him to identify that and take that shot, that's a calculated shot that you should be okay with, and they came away with a big, big gain on it.
Covey just ran right into Evan Johnson that time. Looked like there was an alley on a cutback. It's 2nd down and long. Cincinnati, 3 timeouts, 2-score game. They've got to win 2 and get help to get into the Big 12 title game.
But this is part of that process. Hey, you know what? We were in this game trying to run the football. If we're going to go down, let's go down on the arm or in the legs of our quarterback, Brendan Sorsby. He's our best player. We've got to trust him in these moments. They have to come away with 6 points here on this drive.
He just sent Allen up top in those wide splits. Pitch it high into the end zone. That was not catchable. It's incomplete for Jennings. Cabella on the coverage, but he flared it too far out wide. No pass interference.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about with all the arm angles. You're going to see this go ball here. He saves him space on the sideline, but because he kind of throws this one going away, it affects his accuracy and the ball starts to slide on him out of bounds, and he still almost makes that play.
Now, if that is a playable football, there might be a marker coming in.
Correct.
On that.
Yeah, I mean, the DB was all over him and got there before, was holding him before the ball got there, but because it was so far out of bounds, I believe that's why the ref didn't throw the flag.
There's the substitution again, and the snap came, but there's a marker in first. I believe it's going to be a delay of game unless they say offsides on the substitution, but BYU has the opportunity to substitute. Cincinnati is bringing this upon itself.
Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Scott Satterfield can be frustrated, and BYU is certainly running guys off at a slow pace. But if it's reasonable, it's legal.
Yeah, you're going to see they're talking about Joe Cotton here. They're running guys off, but they're letting them run the play, and he false starts.
He does. Yep.
So even if it was something to do with the substitution pattern, which you're completely correct about, Jason, BYU has been taking advantage of the fact that Cincinnati is making these late subs. Yeah. You still can't false start.
Yeah, if the offense substitutes, the defense can't. That's it. Full stop. Sorsby down the middle. Wide open. Touchdown Caldwell. Cincinnati is back in it.
And what do you know? The guy that I said that they needed to get the football to this entire game to get him more involved, Jeff Caldwell, ends up making a big-time play. And the reason this works is because these two linebackers, Acera and Jack Kelly, are up pressed to the line of scrimmage. So he runs this slant right in behind them, and look at all of that space for the quarterback to make that throw. I would make that throw to a 6'5", 215-pound Jeff Caldwell every day of the week. Great job there by Brendan Sorsby.
You saw the confusion from DeMooney in the secondary, had his palms up, but Sorsby attacks some space, and Cincinnati is within 6 somehow. He has gotten live in the last 10 minutes or so. Shirts are optional. Scoring was too, but that touchdown drive, 86 yards. And as quick as they needed it to happen.
Yeah, the vibes are high right now. You can see the players on the sideline are jumping up and down. The fans are back into it. We got ourselves a game. Cincinnati is down 6 with 4 minutes left in the game, and this is where BYU has to say, we can finish. We are a different team this year.
Hagan on the return. Trying to find the fringe. He's across the 25 and then dragged down at the 26. So that's where BYU will set up. Bear Bachmeier got hit pretty hard last drive. Alexa downstairs.
Yeah, he's coming out on the field with the offense now, but I'll tell you, he rarely shows emotion on the sideline, but he was visibly in pain. They were testing that right shoulder, doing a series of exercises. McKay Hillstead, the backup, was warming up here on the sideline. He still has his headset on, but let's keep a close eye on Bear this drive, guys.
5 throws this year for Hillstead in the reserve role. Bachmeier wants the ball. He'll give it on the first play. It's L.J. Martin again, just steamrolling forward. He ends up with 7 on first down, and Cincinnati with the 3 timeouts will have to use them judiciously.
That's the worst outcome for the Cincinnati Bearcats defense, is giving up 7 yards on first down. you have to know that coming into this, Bears probably not going to want to run the football because of what just happened on that previous series. And if they do, it'll be more straight downhill runs. So you know you're going to get a heavy dosage of L.J. Martin. And if you're BYU, you should tell them, try to stop it.
That's the indication on the first play. And right back there, this time to the right side. And L.J. Martin crawls to set up 3rd down and a half yard. Remember, they're playing without their regular left guard, Waylon Lapuaho, today. But this run game has been damaging anyway.
Yeah, you talk about Sonny Makassini coming in, replacing Lapuaho, and now
Martin's hurt.
L.J. Martin looks like he is hurt. He was trying to get off the field, but they brought him back in and didn't let him come off the field. We got to pay attention to that to make sure that he's okay.
Well, you don't want the stoppage if he goes down, you know what I mean?
And that's what the coaching staff was probably telling him on the sideline.
So now you've got a choice between a hobbled Bear and a hobbled Martin, and it's Bear Bachmeier on a 1st down for BYU. Now Cincinnati has 3 timeouts as Crazy Train blares in everyone's fillings here, trying to just liven the place up, get a stop for a defense that has needed it so badly all year.
And as you mentioned, Jason, you have a banged up quarterback. It looked like your running back was a little banged up. You don't know what was it, his shoulder, was it did he get the wind knocked out of him? But they're still going to have to run the football as they have this double wing set again.
It's Martin. He looks okay. L.J. Martin down the sideline, just yoked to peak. He goes to the sideline, and they did drag him out of bounds. It's a gain of 7. The clock will move since we're outside of 2 minutes. And Cincinnati uses its first timeout. So off a gain of 7. Again, you said it, and you're dead on. A gain of 7 on 1st down is a real disaster. You move the sticks again with just a couple timeouts. The game might be over. Our power players, sponsored by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram. L.J. Martin over 170 on the ground.
I mean, he has been an absolute man-child all day. You saw him right there. 2 Bearcats couldn't take him down. His vision has been extraordinary. He is running on the field as if they're not even there. He doesn't care if they hit him. He's just a matter of just how many guys can I just mess up as I make my way to the end zone. Physical back. I mean, look at that. 173 rushing yards, career high, 44 receiving yards, and a touchdown. Not only is he putting his stamp on this game, but he's letting every single team that they face in the future know you don't just have to deal with Bear Bachmeier. When you play BYU, you got to come through L.J. Martin.
From the West Texas town of El Paso, L.J. Martin, over 200 from scrimmage today. And now Cincinnati, as they move the clock back to 2:10, they added a couple of seconds here. Cincinnati has got to somehow stymie BYU on an average of 6 yards a carry for L.J. Martin tonight.
I wouldn't have taken the timeout there on 2nd and 3. If I was Cincinnati, let it go down to the 2-minute timeout, and maybe they get a 1st down and you can actually have a real chance.
30 seconds.
Timeout, BYU.
More is merrier, and nobody knows that better than Olive Garden. From breadsticks, homemade soup, and garden fresh salad that never ends, to festive new favorites piled high. It's everything you love about the holidays, just with Alfredo. Whether it's catered to your table or at ours. Celebrate more this season with Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
BYU wins tonight and then wins next week. The Cougars will go to the Big 12 title game with a win and a Colorado win, which looks unlikely. Arizona State up 11 and driving. They would clinch tonight. First, a 1st down to get. Cincinnati looking for a stop of Martin. He is hit. He somehow absorbs it and picks up the 1st down on a 2nd thrust. What a tough kid.
Oh my gosh.
No way.
The way he just absorbed that hit from Xavier Williams in the hole and said, come get you some. I'm still about that life. L.J. Martin is carrying BYU right now.
Fox College football is sponsored by Discover. It pays to discover. The many moves of Kalani Sitake, which we may see after the game if BYU can finish this. I mean, he's got the whole catalog.
I like the cabbage patch. It was smooth, you know. Gets the body flowing a little bit.
That's a 10 out of 10 sign right there, although we know it's not being held by one of his daughters, who evidently is a real harsh critic of Dad's dance moves. Bear Bachmeier, oh man, what a run, just driving the legs, pounding forward. It's a gain of 8. Cincinnati with 2 timeouts, and we'll see.
And you're talking about a quarterback who was just dinged up himself, driving his legs, doing what he can do to help his team secure this win. I mean, this BYU team, man, they are so selfless, and they're putting it all on the line every single play.
They do use one of those 2 remaining timeouts. Bear Bachmeier, who his offensive coordinator said is not overly impressed with himself, and it's not flashy, it's just grit. Greatest rivalry in sports is here. Top-ranked defending national champ Ohio State to the Big House in Ann Arbor, trying to snap Michigan's 4-game win streak in the game. 9 a.m. 3-hour Big Noon kickoff live from Ann Arbor. A warm reception for Urban Meyer awaits. And Michigan, Ohio State at noon, only on Fox. Did you have fun on the set today?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The guys are great. The turnout here in Cincinnati was also awesome. The fans were really ready for this ball game, and they've gotten a great one so far tonight. But now, 2nd and 2, they've got to do everything they can, bring all the defenders close to the line of scrimmage and pressure to stop this run game.
It's Martin. L.J. Martin goes down and finishes the deal, very likely for this BYU team that just wins close game after close game after close game.
And this run is all made possible by, of course, a very stout offensive line, but L.J. Martin's vision has been on display the entire game.
That's the last timeout. Should be a couple kneel downs and that's it. But our game summary sponsored by Pacific Life, building confident futures for nearly 160 years. Cincinnati didn't have enough splash plays to overcome some opportunities lost.
Yeah, getting stuff, turn the ball over on downs, missing 3 field goals. I mean, special teams let them down. Their offense at times to let them down. I mean, we can keep showing all these kicks. It just was heartbreaking and momentum shifting for them. And then inopportune fumbles right there. The receivers more focused on not getting hurt than having the ball security. And it was the miscues were the name of the game for Cincinnati. It's what's put them away the last 3 weeks, where they had a really strong season going for themselves. Now they find themselves searching for answers as they go into the last week of the season.
Cincinnati is out of timeouts. BYU is going to run the football with L.J. Martin. BYU now in the second half. 27 runs, 7 passes. I mean, you talk about dedicating yourself to toughness, physicality. That former fullback of a head coach has put his stamp in a mammoth way.
Yeah, he has. And when you talk about this team in modern college football, most teams are built from the transfer portal. But this BYU team is not built that way. Yes, Bear Bachmeier is a transfer, but he only had a cup of tea at Stanford in the spring. The majority of the guys on this roster, as you see L.J. Martin break a big run for a touchdown that I think is going to put him over 200 yards rushing on the day.
It will. He'll take the 6 here, but there's an argument to be made that you should go down and end the game. Instead, BYU gets a capper, and the conversation about style points opens again.
Correct, and you're going to watch his vision here. He's coming here to this goal, this gap, and then he sees a gap to the outside. Watch the patience. Yes, the blocks are all there. He's patient, and he finds the right gap and bursts through it. I'm telling y'all, LJ Martin is a Sunday type of player, and I ain't talking about ice cream.
After this performance, you can have whatever ice cream he wants, too.
Timeout, BYU.
Timeout, BYU. And we'll step aside and be back in 30 seconds. BYU by 12. LJ Martin with a career night here in Cincinnati, 222 yards. And we were talking to Aaron Roderick, his offensive coordinator, yesterday. He was talking about the health of LJ Martin's shoulder, and he said, you know what? Even though he's not 100%, I'd love to feed him 20 times and let him go. Well, Aaron, you got him 32 carries and 3 catches. He's plus 15 to the 20 touch mark.
He is their leading rusher. He is their leading receiver. And what I've noticed is because of the shoulder injury, he's not trying to run people over by dipping his shoulder. He's just giving them his chest and saying, you know what? I'm going to say it with my chest tonight. I'm the big boy on the block, and nobody's going to stop me.
BYU's going for 2 here to make it 14 just in case. Bachmeier zings it over the middle. That is picked off by Logan Wilson, and he's going to try and run it back. And he gets to roughly the 8. So BYU by 12. 2 wins. They're in the Big 12 title game. They're just about halfway there. 26-14 BYU. Cincinnati continues to struggle in November and December the past couple of years, but BYU 1 game left against UCF in Provo. The hope for BYU is that that would be some version of a crowning of a Big 12 championship game berth. You see the lobbying and marker and poster board for Coach of the Year Kalani Sitake, and there's a very strong argument for that, especially the way the details have, with 56 seconds left, likely won them this game. Doom on the return, and what's one more penalty marker between friends. And a little jostling over on the sidelines, some shoving. Glasgow in the middle of it. Gerd, the second tight end, will jog off the field. 51 seconds left. We'll check the penalty. Cincinnati had none at halftime. The penalty to keep the drive going on the offsides on the punt was one of the 2 worst tonight. The face mask being the other.
Holding receiving team number 18. 10-yard penalty. First down, Cincinnati.
All right, so now if you're Utah, if you're likely Arizona State, who is leading against Colorado, you start rooting for either almost heaven West Virginia next week, or UCF, which had to dig itself out of a 14-0 deficit against the Cowboys of Stillwater to get win number 5 today.
And I think that was BYU's mindset coming into this. Hey, you know what? Let's not worry about what everybody else is doing. Let's just do what we need to do to win the game. This isn't about style points for us. This is about finishing the season strong so that we can get to that Big 12 title game. Because if this team gets into the college football playoff, I don't think a lot of teams want to face them with the level of physicality that they play with in the wintry, cold months of the year.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because it's brisk here tonight. Sorsby swinging out wide. Tawi Walker is stalemated right at the edge by Alexander.
And now strategy-wise for Cincinnati, you know, you're looking at this, you're down 12. So you're down 2 scores. You got to score with at least 25 seconds left on the clock, which means the little dinks and the dunks aren't going to really help you in these situations. You got to find a way to get chunk plays.
Yeah, that's not the way to do it. This is where strategy and prayer start to merge. It is 3rd down for Cincinnati.
praying type of guy, so I know exactly what you mean.
I mean, if Cincinnati were to somehow figure this thing out, we would be presiding over one of the strangest, like everybody would wonder, is John Starks hitting some threes in the corner? Third down. Sorsby steps up. He'll drop it off. It is Walker again. And it is a first down. 32 seconds to go. BYU is the story here. They're up 26-14. This is a team that lost a couple of games. Kansas at Arizona State, tail end of the season last year. They wanted to make sure that didn't happen here. Sorsby takes a rare sack. It's Alexander, the corner, for BYU.
BYU dialing up a corner blitz from Theron Alexander III. At this point in the game is just adding insult to injury.
And BYU writing like they're running out of time, as Cincinnati just did. 26-14, BYU gets win number 10. If Colorado comes back, they'll be in the title game. If not, it will be up to Sitake and the Cougars against UCF in Provo next weekend.
And they'd want it no other way. The opportunity to control their own destiny, go out and finish the season strong to show themselves that this BYU team is on a mission and that they can accomplish all the goals that they want. Today, Cincinnati poked the bear, and they got the Martin.
That'll happen. Downstairs, Alexa with Kalani Sitake.
Well, Coach, it wasn't easy on the road, but you got the job done. What was the difference for your team in the second half?
Just played cleaner, didn't make a lot of mistakes, and so as long as we just keep clean and play our ball, our type of football, we'll be fine.
All right, how about this guy right here? LJ Martin, a career high night for him, and the toughness he showed on the ground.
He's a playmaker. We want him to score and all that stuff, that's great, but we had the game under control, just needed the first down, but I'm so proud of him and all he did. Bro. Here at the University of Cincinnati.
I know you're a big fan of Dante's. All right, I got to ask you, a win next week and you control your own destiny. What's going to be the message to your group to close out the regular season the way you want to?
Yeah, celebrate this one, have fun, and then learn and get better for next week.
Love it. Congratulations, Coach.
Go Cougs. Thank you.
All right, we got LJ Martin right here dapping up his head coach. LJ, congratulations on the win and a career high night for you. Over 200 yards on the ground, over 1,000 now on the year. Take me into tonight and what led to that success for you.
Yeah, it was just the guys up front, the receivers blocking downfield, and the running backs too. Everyone's doing a great job blocking. It just made it really easy.
Well, you've truly been a 1-2 punch with your quarterback, Bear Bachmeier. Both of you are battling, fighting through so much, I know, at this time of the year. What is it about your group that is just the no-quit mentality and you're willing to put it on the line for your guys?
Yeah, it's resilience. Everyone's out here fighting to do their job, so we just don't want to be the ones to give up. We all want to do our part and just come together as a team.
Well, LJ, celebrate with your teammates. Congratulations. Thanks.
Thank you for having me.
You talk about full team behavior. We've seen them in person now 3 times, Robert. We'll wrap it when we come back, but this is as much of a team concept as you'll see right now in college football.
Yeah, they all play for each other. They're not about themselves, and that's what makes them a dangerous team down the stretch.
More after this.